Guys, welcome to Outside the Brand. This is your AEW Collision post show for September 9th, 2023. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining us right here on your Saturday nights, wherever you may be. Guys, this is a little bit something different. I feel like I haven't done a Collision post show in fucking forever. But we're getting back into the swing of things tonight. We're getting things rolling with the AEW Collision post shows again. And tonight's Collision was good. Tonight's Collision was a good show. We had two Eliminator tournaments, semifinal matches to get to the finals match, which will happen on this Wednesday's Dynamite. We had Roderick Strong take on Darby Allin, and then Samoa Joe taking on Penta el Zero Miedo. And whoever won those matches got to go to AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. And they will face each other to see who faces MJF for the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam on the 20th of September. And that's basically what the show was built around. We had two open challenges, which, again, with these open challenges, Tony, one for the International Championship at Jon Moxley, the other for the TBS Championship and Kris Statlander. We had a return tonight in Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is officially back in AEW, and she honestly helped the TBS champion and Kris Statlander defend against the Renegades, the Renegade Twins. It was Robin that had the open challenge against Kris Statlander tonight, and then when Kris ultimately retained, like always, Jade Cargill helped Kris after a 2-on-1 attack from the Renegade Twins. So that's going to be very interesting to see where they go with that. Jade Cargill's been missing for quite some time now, and now that she is back, who knows? If she is a babyface, if she is a heel, we do not know. She helped Kris Statlander tonight, but that doesn't mean that she is ultimately going to be a babyface moving forward. So we'll see where that goes. Jon Moxley defeated Action Andretti in his open challenge match. It is what it is. And the big news that is in the thumbnail of the video, we have a huge challenge made for AEW Wrestle Dream on October 1st. It's the first match official for Wrestle Dream. And it is Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. That's fucking awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I cannot wait for this match. The match was actually supposed to happen at the first AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door event, and Bryan was hurt. So now we're actually going to be getting it, and Bryan's been wanting this match for the past 7 years. He's been wanting this thing. He's been wanting this match with Zack for the longest time now, and we're getting it. We are actually going to be getting Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson in the same ring, one-on-one, on October 1st at AEW Wrestle Dream. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. But I will say, AEW Collision tonight definitely felt different than when CM Punk was in the building and when CM Punk had that show to himself. Now, look, I'm not saying Collision was bad by any means tonight, but does CM Punk add a little bit of a different element to AEW Collision? Yes. And I really don't think anybody has a problem with me saying that. He does. He adds a whole other different type of dynamic when it comes to AEW Collision. But Collision tonight was not bad by any means. Life without CM Punk in AEW is going to be perfectly A-okay. And we know this. I'm just stating what I truly believe could be, a fact depending on whoever you talk to. That Collision felt different tonight. It felt different tonight. And we just gotta see where things go. Seriously. Bryan Danielson is now going to be that guy, on Collision. He basically is going to be replacing CM Punk. In the advertisements, or basically, just being that guy for AEW Collision. And trust me, I take Bryan Danielson over CM Punk any day in terms of like an in-ring product and, just what he does in the ring and what he does out. Like everything about Bryan Danielson, I take over CM Punk for sure. And what he did tonight was absolutely fantastic. Obviously challenging Zack Sabre Jr. for Wrestle Dream, but he did his thing with Roderick, with Ricky Starks still, and the BCC came out after, a 2-on-1 assault from Big Bill and Ricky Starks. So, I mean, there's going to be doing something with that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to here on this version of AEW Collision. I'm just here to say that it did feel different, and it's gonna be different for the long run now that Punk is no longer with AEW. But look, at the end of the day, it's cool, and we can see where things go when it comes to that. But other than that, guys, a very easy show to get through. Not too bad by any stretch of the imagination. 2 open challenges. FTR's basically doing open challenges now as well for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, which I do not like. I do not like that at all whatsoever. Considering that, they're the fucking tag team champions. They shouldn't be doing tag team championship open challenges. Nobody should be doing open challenges. Nobody. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you agree with me. I don't give a shit if you disagree with me. Actually, no, I give a shit if you agree with me. If you agree with me, then you're on the right path. I don't give a shit if you disagree with me or not. This open challenge bullshit that they continue to keep doing on a regular basis when it comes to AEW is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit, because it legitimately proves to me that the creative over there in AEW simply don't give a single shit. Where's the creativity? Where's the stories? There are none. Now, I shouldn't say that there aren't any. There are some, okay? But we need more. We need more stories in AEW when it comes to championships. We need stories when it comes to the international title. We need stories when it comes to the TBS title. We need stories when it comes to the tag team titles. All the titles should be somewhat in a story. I mean, I don't really think it's that foreign of a concept, but apparently to AEW Creative it is. And it's like, I don't understand how it's that foreign of a concept, but apparently it just goes over their head. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that, there's no stories when it comes to these championships. But we'll talk about it. We'll get things going here on the AEW Collision Post Show right here on OTB. I thought I could have had somebody here to bounce stuff off with tonight. That is okay. I'm flying solo. That is perfectly fine. And it looks like I'm flying solo, the whole way, because YouTube notifications don't know how to send them out, and I still don't have anybody here in this chat. So we'll see. If anybody shows up, it's going to be a great time. And we're going to talk AEW Collision tonight on OTB episode 419, and it's going to be an awesome show. So hit the like button, turn on the bell for all notifications to those that are going to be seeing this after the fact. Comment your favorite part about AEW Collision tonight. And thank you to everybody that has been supporting OTB as of late. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we still all love and appreciate everything that you do for this channel. So follow me on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below, but you guys can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at @PhillyMatt_. And you guys can help us out here on OTB by also supporting our sponsor, SeatGeek, an official application you can get on your phone, or you can use it on the interwebs, where you guys can go get the best ticketing prices out there. Green dots mean that it's a good deal. The yellow dots means it's an okay deal. And the red dots means that it's bad. Don't go for the red. Go for the green and save yourself some money today by using the code OTB at checkout for $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. I've been using SeatGeek for the better part of the last few years, and it has been absolutely awesome to, be partners with them and actually, really get things going when it comes to them. $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek using the code OTB. Thank you, SeatGeek, for being a part of our family here at OTB. We love being a part of yours. And what is going on last week? We're here talking AEW Collision tonight, brother. AEW Collision tonight was pretty good. Pretty good, I would say. So, we are basically culminating this AEW Grand Slam tournament. And, we have the finals all set and ready to go for Wednesday's AEW Dynamite. It will be Roderick Strong. It will be Samoa Joe in the finals for the shot to get to MJF for Grand Slam. I am going to Grand Slam. I officially made that official tonight during the show. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So if anybody catches wind of this and, you're going to AEW Grand Slam, hit me up. Hit me up. We can all meet. We can all have a good time and just watch some amazing pro wrestling, as it's going to be very, very fun. So Deontay, let me send that to you again, brother. Let me send this to you again. We can get Deontay on the show. We can get Deontay on the show real quick. So while I work on that, I am going to AEW Collision. Coming to your neck of the woods. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to be at AEW Collision. I'm going to be at AEW Collision in October. I think they're coming here to CT and all that. So that's going to be fun. But I am going to AEW Grand Slam. And last week, if you want to join, brother, I actually would love to have you on if you want to talk Collision with me and Deontay. So yeah, I can get you on real quick. I can send you the link. Tell me where to send it, and I can get you on. We can honestly just have fun with this, man. So yeah, just tell me where to send it, and we can get you in. Okay. TikTok. Okay. Alrighty. I'll be sending you the link right now. Last week, and we will get you that link. Okay. All right. Looks like I'm sending people links. We'll get into the actual review, everybody, once we get these people on in here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put it to the 2 right now for Deontay to join in.
Yo,
Deontay. And I gotta send this link to myself real quick because we're gonna have somebody new on the show.
I tried to get on here earlier, but this shit I got a fucking error code.
So we are going to be sending it his way. All right, you should be getting it soon, my brother. I gotta.
Speaking of last week in wrestling, we did an episode together like a couple weeks ago. Y'all should go check it out. It was a lot of fun. He invited me onto the podcast, and it was a fun time. So I should go check that out. Check out the podcast. They're cool people.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun getting him in there. So let's. Apparently, it did not even send. God damn it! Come on. And I'm not logged into TikTok on my computer because I don't use TikTok on my computer, so I can't even get it in there.
I might just send it to him on TikTok. I'm not just doing it.
If you can, yeah. Okay. Don't worry, last week. We will get you in here, brother. And then we'll get right into the show. Alrighty. All right. Well, I sent you the link, brother. So come on in.
The link has been sent.
Yeah. I just sent it to him as well. So
okay.
Alrighty, and there we go. Let me just switch it to the 3.
My guys, the
What's
real
good?
troublemakers of the internet are right here.
Yeah.
What's going on? How's everyone feeling?
There you go, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, buddy, man. Phil, it's an actual honor, honestly. You're actually one of the few very first content creators I knew about way before starting my channel and pod and everything. So I've been following you for like a couple of years now, actually. So this is a real treat, honestly.
I appreciate
to be
that,
on,
man.
and you got a real troublemaker on your hands, unfortunately, with Deontay.
Uh-oh.
But hopefully, you don't cause any ruckus, so that way
Phil,
we can get through a good show today. But
Phil
we'll see.
Deontay,
how are you,
I'm
buddy?
usually able to calm him down.
I'm good.
I'm usually able to calm him down. So
good to see you.
Awesome.
Good to see you.
Also,
to the people who are watching,
guys.
To the people who are watching,
yeah,
you go watch the episode that we did on his podcast like a couple weeks ago. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Check out his podcast. Yeah, no, we try to have fun, with everything. We do a lot. So, but we on OTB, baby. So let's get into it. But yeah, man, AEW was wild. Honestly, it was wild. Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
We got a
It
lot
was a
to
good
talk
show
about.
tonight. Yeah, it
For
was a
sure.
very, very good show tonight. The wrap up of the semifinals for the AEW World Championship Eliminator tournament happened tonight. We are going to be getting into finals of Samoa Joe versus Roderick Strong on this Wednesday's Dynamite. So that's going to be awesome to see this coming Wednesday. We will also have that fatal four-way for the Women's World Championship fatal four-way qualifier.
Mhm.
So Saraya will have to defend against one of those four ladies. And yeah, it's going to be a very interesting Dynamite heading into the 20th September 20th episode of Dynamite, because that's Grand Slam. And
Yes,
AEW
sir.
Grand Slam is looking to be an insane show with the winner take all Claudio and Eddie Kingston match for the Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong Championships. That's going to be insane. I called that, by the way, Deontay. I told you
Yeah,
that
he
right from
did.
the get-go that match is going to happen.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago he called it was gonna happen at Grand Slam, man.
Okay.
And now we're gonna get that. We're gonna get those two matches with Saraya and MJF, and then we also, which was confirmed tonight, I believe, we are gonna get Jericho versus Sammy Guevara. I thought we were gonna, I thought we were gonna do this long-term thing to get that match to AEW All In next year, but nah, they're doing it at a Grand Slam, so that's gonna be very interesting to see. Other than what we had tonight when it came to those semifinal matches, how'd you guys feel about the show overall, man? I thought it was a very well-paced show, and that challenge by Bryan, that match has been 7 years in the making. So I mean, that's going to be insane to go to for October 1st.
I'll let Deontay start because I talk long, and he knows that. So I'll let him get his thoughts in before I start speaking.
The show overall was pretty good. I was kind of like in and out of the show, but I was also watching the Alabama Texas game. My boys lost, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But nah, the show was good. The challenge laid out by Danielson, hell yes. Inject that into my veins, yes please. The show, I love the main event. I love that Jade Cargill is back, looking fine as all hell.
I didn't even mention that. Yeah, Jay's back too.
Yeah.
Overall, good show.
Yeah, no, I mean, pretty much you guys hit it right on the head. I mean, fantastic. Honestly, 4 out of 5, in my opinion. This definitely didn't feel at any part of the show slow paced. Moxley starting off the show, Penta and Samoa Joe ending. I mean, was just perfect. Daniel Bryan and or Bryan Danielson, as we now have to call him, but
it always
it don't make a difference. Exactly.
It always happens.
You know,
Still do it too.
Yeah, we got him and Sabre Jr. when we were doing the watch along today on the pod. I got a great couple from No Bones who were big fans of Sabre Jr. So they're like, oh my god, it's really happening, So it's definitely gonna be worth the $50 for that pay-per-view for sure. And I mean, Cargo coming back. I'm excited, honestly, for that one. I think more or less because we now possibly get a really interesting. Normally, and I said it today, it was like normally we get the big beefy men mashing meat on these shows and stuff. Now we got the big beefy women mashing meat.
Yeah.
And between these two, it's gonna be really just that. And
right.
I'm very excited, honestly. I think Cargill coming back, she looks great. She looks stronger than ever. Kris Statlander doing great things with the TBS belt. So I think this feud is either going to propel one of these women into the AEW championship contention in the near future. So very excited. But no, show overall 4 out of 5.
For sure, man. Yeah, we'll get into Jade Cargill coming back in just a little bit when we get to that open challenge match for the TBS championship as Robin Renegade took on Kris for the championship. So that's going to be good to go over. But let's get right into it, guys. We kick things off with the International Championship Open Challenge with Jon Moxley starting off the show. Mm-hmm. It always seems like whoever the international champion is going to be starting off the show. I mean, we had years worth of Orange Cassidy opening up the show. It legitimately seemed like a troll at some points. That like, all right, here we go, Orange Cassidy starting off the show. But it's it's an awesome championship to feel like, you know, this championship is going to be the workhorse title of AEW. It's
In
almost
my
like their
opinion,
version of the Intercontinental title.
in my opinion,
And
this
go
championship
ahead,
should.
D.
This championship is what the TNT title should have been.
Yeah, I mean, this is their real version of like that Intercontinental Championship, their workhorse championship. I mean, Orange Cassidy, he made that workhorse championship the workhorse title, and Jon Moxley, who's a better workhorse than Jon Moxley. So I think he's going to continue to carry on that legacy of it being the workhorse title. And he faced Action Andretti tonight. Action Andretti, we all know how his career has gone up and down when it comes to AEW, but overall, a very solid match, very fast paced when it comes to Action Andretti and Moxley, seemingly out of nowhere getting that sleeper hold in on him and made Action tap out. But a very good match nonetheless. How'd you guys feel about this International Championship challenge overall?
I loved it. I thought it was a really good challenge. It's good to see Action Andretti back because that dude's been gone for God knows how long. So it's good to see him back.
Yeah.
But like I said, overall good match, as expected. Because anybody with the international title, you're bound to have a 5-star classic in your hands. And with the title on Jon Moxley, the match can get even better. So yeah. Great match.
Yeah. I mean, good starting match. Honestly, it was a great opener. Moxley, and you hit it right on the head, Phil. Workhorse. I mean, Moxley is that guy. He is him. You know, he really is one of them crazy man that's going to go from the States to wrestling indie shows to professional shows to New Japan to Mexico to getting the skewers stuck in his head to whatever, whenever.
He goes international all the time anyway. He'll defend this thing in like the local indies. So like, I mean, he'll do everything when it comes to this title.
Exactly. And this is perfect for him. I think this is perfect. But I want to pitch this idea or maybe question to the both of you guys is now that we have Moxley as our new international championship, do you guys want to see this title defended on different international promotions?
Yes.
Like maybe something in New Japan, maybe something in AAA, maybe something in GCW, maybe something in Ireland, maybe something in Mexico, maybe something in here? Or would we rather just keep it where it is and kind of almost doing that rotating of roster every couple of months until we continuously are content with who we have as champion?
I mean, it is called the International Championship, so I would love for him to defend it overseas. Hell, I believe Pac did defend it overseas once. He defended it in the UK when he was in. So I would love to see.
He did defend it over in Rev Pro. Yeah, he did defend it over on Rev Pro when he was stuck in England, getting his I believe it was actually getting his visa and papers all worked out to get back to the States. But he did defend it over there. And if Moxley's up to it, and if Moxley's like healthy enough to, continue to like go to basically everybody's in their mother's show, go for it. I mean, Moxley is going to be, that kind of a workhorse anyway. And I feel like he just usually does that regardless. So, I mean, if he is actually up for it, I would love to see that. And, AEW loves helping out other promotions, then, in turn, Tony Khan would want, the same done to him and his promotion. So, I mean, I feel like it is kind of like a back and forth, kind of like an actual dance between the multiple companies when it comes to AEW. But if everybody's all in it together and actually wanted to work for each other to do that, I have no problem when it comes to that because it's only going to help AEW and it's going to help the other promotions as well. So, yeah, I think that works out. But yeah, the International Championship Open Challenge, Jon Moxley did retain this title. I mean, as we kind of probably all expected, but I mean, it was a good match nonetheless. And, we saw Action going to the ropes. for a spinning crossbody onto Moxley. He covers him for a count of 2, and then Action Andretti grabbed Moxley's arm and kicks Moxley in the face. He traps the arm and basically does the Bryan Danielson kicking your fucking head in spot. And the crowd boos because we were in, I believe it wasn't Cincinnati, Ohio, was it?
It was
We were in
Ohio. I don't
Cincinnati
know if
on
it was
Wednesday.
Cincinnati, but I think it
We were
was
in
Ohio.
Cincinnati
No.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, we went to Cincinnati on Wednesday, correct.
They were in Ohio. I think they were.
Yeah.
I think we were in Cleveland. I think we were in Cleveland tonight.
I think they were in
I believe
Toledo.
so.
Yeah,
What was
I
that?
think maybe Cleveland, maybe some other part of Ohio, but for sure it was Ohio.
It was in Cleveland.
It was Cleveland.
Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. So yeah, we were in Cleveland. So basically down the road from wherever Moxley
a couple
is.
blocks away, across the deli, exactly.
So there you go. Once he did the kicking your fucking head in spot, the crowd boos, and Moxley reversed it automatically and caught Action into a bulldog choke, which made Action Andretti tap out, and Moxley retained the title. After the match, he grabbed the title and made his way through the crowd to a huge ovation, and he just retains the title. He shows up, kicks your motherfucking ass,
Yep,
leaves. That's it.
Hey, that's Moxley.
And that's exactly what Moxley has to do.
Moxley, baby. That's Moxley, baby.
So it's awesome. It's awesome to see Moxley as champion once again in AEW. And you know how we have the ace in New Japan? I legitimately call Moxley the ace of AEW because he legitimately has been that ace. If you need somebody like on a whim, it's gonna be Moxley, and Moxley's gonna be able to get on that plane, get on that private jet, and get to wherever he needs to be. He is legitimately the ace of AEW.
You know how many vacations this man has missed? He still ain't been over here.
No,
he's been wanting a vacation for a long time, bro. I don't think it's happening.
This man ain't going nowhere. He's back after that reign as AEW champion. He ain't going nowhere, especially as champion now. Like, no way. You can't even pay him to go home, honestly.
And he probably wouldn't accept it either. Knowing him,
that too.
He probably wouldn't accept it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we go to a video package where Roderick Strong is talking about his friendship with Adam Cole, how it started in Ring of Honor. Strong talks about how he and Adam were brothers at one point, and they show old photos and footage from the Ring of Honor days. Strong says that he is going to go win this Grand Slam tournament and win the AEW World Championship, which is something his friend Adam Cole just simply couldn't do. So they were really trying to egging on the whole friendship of Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, and seeing if Roderick Strong could get to that AEW World Championship.
It's not happening.
I'm loving whatever Roderick Strong is doing right now. I'm loving it. I do. I love it.
He was a Nick When
the Kingdom first, started getting involved in this whole Adam Cole MJF story, I didn't think it made any sense. But they honestly made sense, and they really made it work in a way.
Yeah.
And especially with the whole, friendship of Roderick Strong and Adam Cole kind of, deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
Them being a part of this makes all the sense in the world now. I wouldn't have it any other way when it comes to this story.
No, I wouldn't either. I'm a huge mark for MJF. I'm Long Island. I live on Long Island. We you know what I mean? Like we're one in the same pot. So my man will never ever lose that belt. It ain't happening. You could bring the baddest, the biggest, the strongest, the widest, whatever. He'll take them all down, no matter what it is, no matter what kind of match it is. It is what it is. He's always gonna lose. But my man MJF's gonna retain. But no, Roderick right now. This is my first time really seeing Roderick in professional wrestling. I wasn't a big NXT watcher when it was big in the black and gold era. I saw moments, but nothing to any extent of consistency. So being introduced to Roderick Strong as of now as an AEW fan is very nice. It's refreshing. It's very good, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. I love the gimmick, the neck brace. He takes it off before the match starts. He put the Kingdom puts it back on him after the match is over. Neck strong is the tagline now with the t-shirts.
That is a crazy shirt.
Right?
Awesome.
Like it's just great. It just doesn't miss. It doesn't miss. And I too am a fan. I think my friend Asa said he's the best character right now in AEW by far. And he is. And in my opinion, I kind of agree with him. He really is. Because
that's actually not too far off.
Yeah,
that's
like
not bad. That's not bad.
He's funny. Like the guy is funny. This
Yeah.
whole MJF feud and everything is great.
Yeah, ever since his NXT days, I knew he was, a funny guy. When he was with the Undisputed Era and shit, it was like he was a funny dude. He was like the comic relief for that group.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it's great. It's like I said, and he's a good wrestler. Like not for nothing. Like you take the comic side out of him and you just leave him in the ring and he puts on a very good match. Like he genuinely is a talent in the ring and he's great to watch. He works really well with everybody. I don't hear anything bad in the sense of he's a bad worker or he doesn't sell well or whatever the case is. He's good. It's natural to him. It really is. And it's nice to hear that. And you see it. I'm very excited for him versus Samoa later on this week coming up. But great. Another good one right after, of course. We got a good promo before, of course, right after Moxley and what the hell? Who were we just talking about? Moxley and that other guy. There it is, Andretti. Sorry, it's been a long week of content, buddy. It's been a wild week. I do the show like 6-7 days a week over on my channel. It's nuts. It's nuts.
Completely understand it, bro. But it was a great promo. Really good stuff going on when it comes to Roderick Strong. A lot of people really didn't take too kindly to him joining AEW because some people just thought he was like very vanilla and just didn't really have all that much charisma. But you can see right here, he's got he's winning people over with this neck brace thing. So I mean, it's working.
The man might listen to Taylor Swift, but he doesn't wrestle like Taylor Swift. So, and I think that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
I would not be surprised if he was a Swiftie. I would not.
Listen, so the Swiftie fans are strong. That's what I hear. I'm not into that genre of music, but hey, man, those Swiftie fans are strong. It's strong, man. They're strong. Yeah. So listen, God bless them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man.
But yeah, I listened to another show, right? And
I think you're gonna say you listen to Taylor Swift too. I was gonna be like, all right, let's go down this path here.
Other family members in my circle do, but not me.
Love it.
But I listened to another podcast, and they went to Wembley. They were in London for the show, and one of the co-hosts saw Roderick Strong with the neck brace and all, and he calls over, is like, wait a second, I think that was Roderick Strong. He's like, hey Roddy, and then he like turns over because his neck is in the brace, so he can't like really fully turn his head, so he just turns his whole body, and he's like, they're really making you wear the neck brace out in public like this? He's like, I need this for my neck.
And he's keeping kayfabe.
I love it. That's commitment.
I died laughing.
Keeping kayfabe alive, bro.
Kayfabe, you got to keep that alive, man. You got to keep that strong.
I need it for my neck. What do you want me to do?
I'm dead. That's great.
Like, that's awesome. That is awesome. The fact that he's keeping kayfabe like that too, man, it works so well.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
good. But
that's
it's awesome. I love Roderick Strong's commitment to the bit. Seriously.
Yeah.
But we did have this TBS Championship Open challenge next. Kris Statlander defending against Robin Renegade. Her her sister Charlotte was out there with her.
Charlotte
And
Flair?
you know, huh?
No, Charlotte Renegade.
I know. I'm just saying.
Charlotte
Not
Flair.
not
she's in
Charlotte
two different
Flair.
shows at the same time.
Not Charlotte
She's in
Flair.
two different shows at
Not
the same
Charlotte
time.
Flair. Charlotte Flair showed up in AEW. I would legitimately combust. Pause.
Hornball.
Resume.
But yeah, it is what it is. These TBS Championship Open Challenge. I love Kris. You know, Kris Statlander is absolutely fantastic. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's just me, guys, but I'm sick of these open challenges. I need these open challenges to just go away because I want more stories when it comes to these titles in AEW. I mean, why can't we get a new story for Kris Statlander? Or hell, even I know Jon Moxley just won the title, but we don't need these open challenges every time because to me, it just lacks creativity.
And it's repetitive.
And it is repetitive. I mean, we had an open challenge for the international title like every other week. We don't need that much anymore.
You know, and it almost kind of, and I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me with this, but it almost feels like those jobber matches in a sense. Like,
yes,
you know, they're not squash matches. Like Moxley's not coming out there and getting a victory in less than 2 minutes, less than a minute. But these jobber-esque moments.
You know who's winning the title. Like, you know who's winning the title every time.
And, you know, which is cool and all, but at the same time, it's like, to your point, Phil, is, yeah, I'd rather stories. I'd rather feuds. I'd rather bigger and better builds to title defenses, even if it is on a Dynamite and or Collision. You know, having a week or two build that ends on a Collision main event for a 30-minute segment is better than having these 10, 12-minute matches per se. And we already know the outcome. We can almost kind of go do laundry, go play a video game. You know what I mean? Like we almost read a couple chapters of a book. We already know what that end result's going to be. It doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, I don't know if you guys also would say the same when if you want to compare it to something, I guess is the way I should say this. But it almost feels like jobber matches. You know, they're making Moxley look good. Moxley's making, you know, Action Andretti look good, but we already know the end result, so there's no point to this, you know? So
in a way, it's just to pad stats. It really is. It's just to add another win to the win record when it comes to a Jon Moxley or a Kris Statlander, and it adds another loss to the guys that, you know, like, I mean, I like Robin Renegade. I mean, I saw her, you know, during her stuff in Ring of Honor for the time that I did watch her for a little while. I don't get to watch Ring of Honor all that much anymore, but I like what the Renegade Twins do. I really do. And then Andretti, he's awesome in the ring.
Yeah.
And like I've seen him live before.
Jericho.
Like he beat Jericho in his debut. I've seen him live countless times. I mean, the guy is just absolutely fantastic. But
yeah,
I don't know what AEW needs to do when it comes to these open challenges because they just seem way too frequent, Deontay, and it's starting to just get really, really repetitive.
I think he uses these open challenges because he, as a way to, I guess, negate the fact that he really can't find any compelling stories, especially for the women, because we all know Tony's booking of the women's division has not been great at all since the start of AEW.
Yeah.
And at least for the International Championship, at least we've gotten some stories out of that. We haven't gotten a single story with Kris Statlander at all.
I mean, the whole story with the International Championship was Orange Cassidy's run with it. I mean, that was legitimately the story. Him being broken down so much to the fact where he's like, look, I don't give a shit how much I get beat up every single week.
Right.
I'm going to be defending this championship, whether, you know, it's going to be around my shoulder or not. And then he met Jon Moxley and we saw the demise. But it was an incredible match and All In. So we'll see what the story is when it comes to the international title with Jon. It's just the TBS championship is really the one that I'm kind of, losing focus on, because it's the secondary championship for the women when there's not really much story you're going in there with. And it feels like, I don't want to say this, but if Kris Statlander doesn't get more on my TV or in a storyline with this title, it's just going to turn into another Jade Cargill run.
Another thing. Why is she on TNT more than she's on TBS? She's the TBS champion, for fuck's sake.
Well, it's the whole sister company with the whole TBS and TNT, but like you're right in that sense. But
yeah, I'll say this. I do agree with you too, Deontay. I'll say this. Tony needs a writing staff.
He does.
I have
desperately
been shouting that at the top of of the Raptors, right where Sting hangs out every single week, and just screaming it, saying he needs a writing staff, because he does. Tony takes on 4 shows and is stretched so thin that he's become thinner than paper. Okay, he has Jericho, which is great. He has Danielson, which is great. He's letting a lot of the wrestlers dictate their shows, which is cool. But there is still no direction when it comes down to the deliverance of the shows and matches each and every week. There's moments where we see that delivery and it hits. And we will sit here and talk about that for a whole entire podcast. But there are more than those unfortunate moments that don't deliver, that unfortunately are the episodes that we talk about each and every weekday when we do these shows. But my thing is this with the TBS belt. I know there's been a lot of conversation about having a women's tag team belts in AEW. There's that talk of an interim championship for AEW for the women. And I think maybe that could be the direction the TBS belt goes in if this Statlander v. Cargill possible feud goes in that direction. And what I mean by that is that TBS logo and name gets dropped, or the TBS stays and it's the TBS interim women's championship, where women like Kris Statlander, Sky Blue, Kris Jade Cargill, the Bunny, Anna Jay, people like that don't get TV time, or that do get TV time and become squash victims to the 4, 5 to 6 ladies that get rotated every single week that we know. And another company does that as well, but that's for a different show.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what I would do if I was a worker for AEW. And I think that with that as a direction is a perfect way to build up the women's division, because there is talented ladies on there that can put up a fight. Unfortunately, there is not enough time given to that women's division each and every week, not even on a pay-per-view, mind you, as well, to that division that does need a different pair of eyes and hands. So, go ahead.
Not to mention, they're on at the same time every week.
It's the same 6 ladies. It's the same 6 people. Look at the tournament match for the AEW.
It's a 9:30 time slot. It's a 9:30 time slot most of the time, and you're right. It's the same crop of women. It's the same crop of women that we get every single time. I love Britt Baker. I love Britt Baker.
Great.
I love Britt Baker.
But I don't want to see her Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
She doesn't need to be in these matches every single week. I mean, I see where everybody's coming from when it comes to like these women, getting the only times that they need and all that kind of a thing. But like this women's division is absolutely one. Like, if you actually, stack up all the women's divisions right here in North America with Impact, WWE, and AEW, women's wrestling couldn't be more successful in the state that it is right now when it comes to the overall landscape of all the women's divisions. AEW has a strong women's division. They just don't get to show it all that often. Impact has one of the best women's divisions in the world.
Correct.
And
And
WWE,
NXT.
well, I'm kind of just, grouping NXT and the main roster
Yeah,
together. But
yeah,
regardless,
WWE
all of
is
that
NXT
happens.
as well.
It's still one of the best women's wrestling rosters in the entire world. Women's wrestling could succeed,
Anywhere.
beyond our wildest dreams here.
Yeah.
It's just that we just need more time.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think,
like,
and I think there needs to be women writers and a creative team that is not a wrestler, and I don't want to go crazy off topic, but to the point of, or at least make the topic longer, but the point of, I know there's a big thing that if something were to happen to Tony Khan, God forbid, that Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever we're calling him this week, is going to be that new person in charge.
Which would be a great decision, by the way. I think Bryan Danielson would handle this AEW company like a gem. I love Bryan and his eye.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, for sure. I would say only because he's a wrestler. He's not a writer. The stamina that he puts in as a wrestler and the mindset that he is as a wrestler doesn't have the same mindset as a creative. Now, I'm not saying that the man's not creative, and I'm not saying that the man doesn't have the stamina or the possibility or opportunity to become that of that position. And I know tonight he kind of hinted at that retirement moment. But nonetheless, if he were to take on an opportunity as a writer, as a creative director, in any sense of the matter, I would give him Rampage to start off. Because if he can build and make something out of Rampage, an hour show, giving him Collision and Rampage as a 3-hour spot for him and letting Tony focus only on Dynamite takes a 75% load off of Tony Khan's shoulders, giving now Bryan and Tony a better opportunity to start booking these divisions and giving us a better quality product twice to possibly 3 times a week, which would be something that the WWE at moments can definitely do, sometimes not hit all 3 days though. But if there is a possibility to hire people that are outside of the business, that are creative writers and team directors that know the business itself as a wrestling fan, more or less, but not a fan like us, how we sit here and go, oh my God, did you see, did you watch, do you know, like that, as a fan of the product and what it could be marketed for the future, then I'd say hire them and give them specific roles for specific divisions to enhance them. Because now we can't be pointing fingers at Tony. We now, if things go awry, can point fingers at the actual division leaders to get them to reestablish and rebuild and regrow a product in some sense of the matter that is dying in some facets of the product that we love to watch each and every week. So that's my thought on it. My thought is that, Daniel Bryanson possibly could be a great person, but we've seen it with Flair. I know it didn't work out too well. We've seen it with Triple H at times. Daniel Bryan was a part of SmackDown at one point. It didn't do so great. There were moments, but there was still some more moments that were bad, and there's a few others. Kevin Nash.
You got to ease into things. You would have to ease him into it. And it's
I would start him at Rampage, because Rampage is an hour show. He has about 40 minutes, 45-ish minutes to keep our attention glued for pure wrestling, and a 15-minute spot, 10 minutes if he's really good at it, and giving 5 to 5-minute segments for promos to build into the next show, which would be Collision. But that's my take.
Yeah.
I could be the crazy one here to think that. But that's what my thought.
Honestly, that works. I mean, that would work. I mean, you gotta, build these people into it. That's why I loved and wanted William Regal to work so well in AEW. I really wish William Regal worked so much more in AEW than what he did, because I personally would have stuck him and that managerial type of role when it comes to like a Ring of Honor brand, because how he worked wonders for NXT. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
imagine
right.
what he could have done with that. Imagine what he could have done with that Ring of Honor roster if they legitimately gave him that general manager type of role over there. I mean, yes, I
Well,
wouldn't stick him solely to Ring of Honor because I mean he was
correct.
doing stuff with the BCC, but and you would still wanted to be a part of that.
Right.
But I mean, doing stuff with Ring of Honor, I mean, I would have loved that. And then that would have taken that plate off of Tony Khan, and then he would have been able to do things and focus more on AEW television. Now,
Correct.
again, we kind of just went on a kind of random tangent here, but that's usually what happens here on OTB, and it is what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of things that AEW could still be going. They could still be doing right, but there's also stuff that they are doing wrong. And look, I can
Unfortunately.
praise AEW all day. I could legitimately talk an hour about just how great AEW has been. But if there are stuff that are going wrong, and it's in my point of view to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it because I would not be giving you guys the best show possible if I just came on in here and just praised everything. Not every show is a great show. Not every show is going to be a perfect show. You got to do the good with the bad, and you got to call it out when it's at least relegated to do so. It is.
That's
why
we like you, Phil. That's why we like you, Phil.
That's why he's our favorite Phil. Phil Brooks, we don't like it. We like this guy.
Yeah, no, Phil Brooks is out. We like Phil Con instead.
See, you guys, I keep telling you guys I'm the best Phil around, and nobody understood.
Hey, listen, that other banana head was talking a lot of wild shit for a while. So I mean, unfortunately, we had to wait till he kind of
take out the Phils, man. It's me. It's me.
Yeah, listen, man. That's the only Phil I know. Forget Dr. Phil too. He's out as well. Well, we got Dr.
this Phil. I mean, hey, look,
I know. Listen, Dr. Phil's good, but listen, I don't know, Dr. Phil and you, I don't know. It's good. There could be a match here. You know what I mean? We get Tony Khan on it. We might get a good match out of it.
Hey, yo,
Tony.
Kris Statlander won.
Yes.
So we're good to go there.
Yes.
So after the match, the Renegades twins double teamed Kris. Jade Cargill's music hit out of basically nowhere. I had no idea Jade Cargill was even coming out tonight. I was shocked.
Yeah.
And she ran to that ring. Jade took down the Renegade twins, and the fans chant for Jade. The fans chant "Welcome back." Jade offers a hand to Kris and then picks up Kris and drops her face first as she picks up the TBS title, kisses it, and Mark Sterling enters the ring. Jade leaves the ring as Kris looks, pretty upset about what just happened. So, we were talking in the group chat earlier, Deontay, and our guy TJ said that, she's back and it looks like she's going to be a babyface, and then all of a sudden she just dropped Kris. So, obviously she's not a babyface here. And even if she was, I wouldn't trust I wouldn't trust Jade anyway, because Jade is Jade, and she was going to be able to do whatever she needed to do to get back to that TBS championship, because she is that bitch. So what do you make of this whole thing? Because Kris Statlander took the title from Jade to start this whole thing. I believe it was Revolution. I believe it was Revolution. But
was it that long?
She came out after the match at Double or Nothing. She had a match with.
It was Double or Nothing. It was Double or Nothing. Okay. So it was Double or Nothing. But what do you think about this, man? I mean, we're gonna easily possibly get another, match between these two. And honestly, I would want it to be a legit match, not what we got at Double or Nothing.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I'm happy Deontay's rocking that profile picture. R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. But what Bray Wyatt's face looks like right now with his hands on his head and that pure shock, That's how I felt when Jade Cargill was coming down the ramp.
Yeah.
Was absolutely shocked. It's like, holy shit, this really is not happening. But it was. It was good looking Jade. And yeah, Kris thought that Jade was a moron. But guess what? She's not a moron. All right. And she didn't come to play. She came for that TBS belt, baby. And that is what she wants. So I'm happy to see Jade. I really am. I hope, like we said before, with everything, I'm not going to reiterate it, but I hope we get a good feud that pushes one of these women to that next step, which is, of course, the AEW Women's Championship, and gets them into that rotation of the other 6 to 7 women that we see on a weekly basis, and get a nice momentum going, and possible new champion as well for the AEW Women's Championship.
Yes,
Whoever wins this title at the end of this feud, Deontay, definitely has to be in somewhat of a contention to at least get to the world title picture for the women. Has to.
I've been screaming it from the rooftops for about a year now, since she's been to TBS champion, that Jade Cargill should be in the she should be competing for the women's world title. Because she didn't really do much with the TBS title, let's be honest. She held it for a year and did jack shit with it.
No, she didn't.
But I would love to see her up there in the ring with people like Britt Baker, Saraya, Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, them people,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
It's going to be a very interesting sight to see when it comes down to it, who's really going to be the ultimate one to win this TBS championship in the end. I would personally still keep it on Kris because I want to see what more she can do with the title. I wouldn't want it to just be automatically be put back on Jade, because then to me that would kind of feel like, all right, well, what is Jade without the TBS championship? Even though I do believe the title was honestly made for her, considering she was the first person to win that championship, that entire tournament. To crown the first champion was legitimately made for her to get that belt. So it was what it was. But now that we have Kris, I want to see what more she can do with it and get Jade to that world title scene. And because that's where she belongs.
I hope that when they have another match, and of course it will be for that TBS belt, I hope it is Kris that retains, because pushing Jade to that world title conversation, what have you, like you're saying, Phil, I think would be the best next step, because we now will see what Jade is like without a title before she gets the big gold, the real gold that she's been. I mean, she definitely deserves it. Don't get me wrong.
And she will be a women's world champion. She will be a women's world champion. There's no doubt about that.
I think now it's time to have that nice return. Let's give that Kris Statlander a nice big over moment. Let her have that win. Let her run with the TBS division belt. Let her run through a couple other women and get good feuds out of them. Renegades, Bunny, Sky. Let's get some of them now working in the mix. Ruby Soho. Let's get them in there. And then have Jade go against Britt. Have her go against Toni, Saraya, Shida. Not Emmy Saphir. Let's get them going in that type of contention. And I think we got something here. We got something working.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they go when it comes to that TBS championship. But we go backstage and we have an interview with Renee Paquette as she is talking to Ruby Soho and the AEW Women's World Champion Saraya. And Ruby says that she is angry about everything that happened, because if it wasn't for Toni Storm, she would be she would be at least in contention for that AEW Women's World title. Saraya says that Toni Storm is just off her rocker at this point. She's just nuts. I remember I believe she was just using mayonnaise or whatever as facial cream. So she's just crazy.
Great.
That is
so
crazy.
She's just crazy.
That's great.
Saraya then tells Renee that she is way better looking than Lexi Nair. And Saraya then talks about how she will be honestly like a re-debut type of sense at Grand Slam because that is where she showed up in AEW in the first place. I was there. It was fucking wild. I did not expect that
Welcome
at
back.
all.
Welcome back to Long Island, buddy.
I can't wait to go back there, dude.
Listen, man, you're literally going from where I'm originally from before moving to Long Island.
That's
I
awesome,
wasn't that
man.
far away from Arthur Ashe. So
it's the third time I'm going, man. I'm going.
Crazy.
I've been to all AEW Grand Slams, and I'm going to this one now. So it's going to be awesome. As long as they are staying here in Arthur Ashe, I'm going.
Oh no, we're not going nowhere.
As long as this Grand Slam is in Arthur Ashe, I'm going because it's legitimately only like an hour and a half away. It's an hour and a half drive, dude. So I mean,
it's about an hour for me. Yeah, from where I'm at in Long Island, it's about an hour, if that, 45 minutes, which is crazy.
So I mean, like, why not? But she says she's way better looking than Lexi, and she says that she will be basically re-debuting at Grand Slam because that's where she was, and she'll be walking out of Grand Slam still the AEW Women's World Champion. So whoever wins that Fatal 4-Way, I think it's Sheeta, Baker, Toni Storm, and Nyla Rose. Whoever wins that will get Saraya at Grand Slam. I think the only person that kind of honestly makes sense is Toni. I would like to see Toni versus Saraya.
It's Toni. It's Toni.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else but Toni.
So I mean, we'll see when it comes to that. We come back from commercial break, and we are backstage with an interview of Tony Schiavone talking to Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston. They have a very, tumultuous relationship when it comes to the independents. And Eddie talks about how Claudio met his parents. Eddie tells Claudio that he will put the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship on the line at Grand Slam if he can just get his hands on Claudio. And Claudio told Eddie that he is still owing him a handshake and will not lose the title to Eddie, but a better man as Claudio leaves. And Eddie says he will get his family the tickets and tell Schiavone to tell Tony to do his job, make the match, and get this thing to be title versus title, winner take all. And that is exactly what's going to be happening at AEW Grand Slam, as we will be getting Eddie Kingston putting the Openweight Championship on the line, and Claudio Castagnoli putting the Ring of Honor World title on the line. Title for title at Grand Slam. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see this match. And it's even more special because I called it. I didn't expect to actually, get it right, but they made it.
Yeah, crazy.
It made all the more sense in the world to do it there because at All In, when they did the tag match with Katsuyori Shibata and Yuta, the reason why Claudio pinned Eddie Kingston to me, I was like, they're gonna set this thing up for Grand Slam, aren't they? And lo and behold, they did this interview and they did the match here tonight. So it's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
What's that, D?
I said I also think it's because I believe Eddie Kingston is from New York.
Yes,
he is, baby. Only the best come from New York. All right, only the best come from New York. All right, MJF, Billy Joel, Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Kingston, your boy right here. I mean, only the best come out of New York, okay?
Seinfeld, man,
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, Massapequa.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see this thing title for title, and it's going to be in New York in front of everybody. It's going to be an awesome show.
Best place to do it,
It's going to be awesome. And trust me when I say this, Eddie Kingston will be walking out double champion. That
you really think it's Eddie?
I'm calling it right now. Eddie Kingston's going to be the one to beat Claudio. Yep.
I think Eddie wins it too.
I think it might be Claudio. I think.
We'll see.
I do. And you know why? I think they do is because now and I hate to say it because I really hope they don't try to mimic what's happened over in WWE and AEW, but I do think that there's a possibility they're going to try to get BCC with gold, all of them. Wheeler, Claudio, John, Daniel, before he leaves, and the New Japan belt would be interesting around someone like Wheeler Yuta, and have that happen for the kid after being ROH pure. I definitely think it's a big step up. But if they're not doing it, I prefer it to be Eddie. But for some strange reason, I think it's Claudia.
Claudia. This is actually probably going to be a lot closer of a thing to call than what we're kind of making it out to be. I'll probably change my mind, at least 10 other times before I even make it to New York. But yeah, as of right now, I am going with Eddie because I think it just makes all the sense in the world to have him win in New York. I mean, I know wrestling, encyclopedias usually dictate that you lose and you basically put somebody over in your hometown or whatever, but this is AEW. This isn't really WWE type of logic that we really need to go for here. And honestly, Tony Khan loves giving the rub to the hometown people. I mean, look at what Saraya did at Wembley. Look at what
Darby.
I mean, it wasn't like a hometown type of a thing. But look at what Sheeta did on the 200th episode of Dynamite when she won the championship. I mean, she didn't hold the title for long, and I still think that was kind of a weird decision to make. But I mean, Tony Khan loves to make moments, and I think when it comes to making a moment, Eddie Kingston winning the title would be a huge moment for him.
My whole thing with that is, if they were just gonna have Tony Khan take the pin, why she couldn't just hold the title until fucking Wembley?
That's the whole thing when I was making that argument during the show at that point in time for episode 200 of Dynamite. But it is what it is. I mean, that's just what they do. But Tony Khan likes making moments. That's basically what I mean.
Absolutely. And I mean, the smartest decision would be, Eddie, you're getting 2 belts. Congratulations. And you're in your home. You're here. Your family's here. So let's give New York something to talk about, because after that, of course, the other match that'll happen, it'll be the AEW one. And I mean, that's another New Yorker in New York. If they don't have him win either, I think New York's gonna riot. New York will riot. We're gonna riot.
I mean, that's gonna be insane. No matter who wins that final on Wednesday, if MJF doesn't walk out of this thing as the AEW World Champion, I think people are going to be really upset.
If he doesn't walk out of New York as champion still,
they're going to burn that place down.
We're going to burn New York down. Tony's going to be in that town burning.
It's going to be insane. And I'll join in with him. I'm here in CT. But I mean,
I don't want to hear, but the Samoa Joe's a nice guy, or but Roddy and that neck break. Fuck them both. They're both going down. You know what I mean? That's it. All right, no way, buddy. You can't. You're not walking out of there alive. I tell you that now.
Oh no.
See you cheering for the opposite side. Oh no.
Trust me. No. I would never. I'll legitimately most likely wear my Kiss the Ring t-shirt that I got from an AEW crate. So I mean, I'll be supporting MJF all the way.
Let's go.
But we then had this trios match here. Bullet Club Gold taking on Gravity. I freaking love Gravity. I don't care what anybody says. Gravity is the freaking GOAT.
Wild.
I love it when I saw him live at the Collision show that happened here in CT. Loved it. I was legitimately the only person in my section cheering for Gravity, but I didn't give a shit. I loved it.
They don't know what real wrestling is.
Exactly.
They don't know exactly
what I told people, and they were booing me. They weren't booing. They don't know nothing. They were booing me when I said that. Wild people in Connecticut, and they're my people. Wild, but Gravity also teamed up with Aerostar, and this is the first time I've ever seen this guy in Dios Del Inframundo.
I have no clue.
I've
Who that
never
is.
heard
Power Rangers villain.
of him or seen him in my life.
He look
But
like he looks like
great.
a Power Rangers person. He looks like he belongs
Yeah.
in Power.
He looks like he's a Power Rangers villain. He really does.
He
really
did,
does.
but he looked fantastic. I really
Oh, no,
did
he
like
did.
what he
No,
got
he
there.
really was.
And but yeah, this was actually supposed to be an 8-man tag. Jay White was supposed to be a part of this, but Jay White had to bow out due to personal reasons. Again, we don't know, but you know, it is the personal reasons. And Metalik, Grand Metalik, of all people, was also supposed to be in that team with Luchas. So they basically took Grand Metalik out and made this a 6-person tag. You know, multi-man tag team matches in AEW. They're chaotic, they're fun, they're absolutely hilarious, and it is what it is. Bullet Club Gold got this win, as they should, and I'm just loving everything about Bullet Club Gold right now, man. I love Juice Robinson. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he is rock hard, and the Guns are
Hey,
the Guns.
if I was
and
dating
love
Tony
the Guns.
Storm, I would be too.
And yeah, if I was fucking Tony
go.
Storm, I would be too.
There you go. But yeah, Bullet Club Gold won this thing,
Resume.
and it's awesome to see. I love Bullet Club Gold. I think everything Bullet Club Gold does is absolute gold, no pun intended. They're just absolutely fantastic. So
Yeah, I love the Bang Bang game.
all intents and purposes, Bullet Club Gold are great.
They're called the Bang Bang Gang. Phil,
So there you go.
saying it wrong. It's the Bang Bang Gang.
Bang Bang Gang.
Guns
There you
up,
go.
baby. Guns up.
No, but this is really good here. Bullet Club Gold got the win. Colton picks up Aerostar, slams him hard, and as he rolls to the outside, Juice then gets tagged in and drops Dios with a huge leg lariat, and then plants Dios face first and gets the win for the win. 1, 2, 3, and they got the double. They got the win. So there you go.
I love it.
I don't know how many times I could say the word win, but there you go.
I love Juice Robinson. That man is crazy. I love him.
I love Juice. I actually met the guy in person. He couldn't honestly be more of a genuine human being. But yeah, whenever he acts like this on TV, I just can't help but laugh. He's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No, they're great. And honestly, I wish that Bullet Club Gold got the tag belts a while back, to be honest. And I had a very interesting theory that I'll say to you guys, because I thought this is how they were going to do it, was that FTR was going to lose to Juice and Jay, and what was going to happen was Colt and his brother eventually were going to turn on Jay and Juice, making it a Bullet Club v Bullet Club tag team title match.
Bullet Club Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would have been very interesting to see, but I'm happy that they didn't do it that way, because we would have missed out on this. And I think this is a lot more enjoyable, having the cutout cardboard of Jay White while Jay White's wrestling, have the Bullet Club, have Juice Hard going rock hard all the time. You know, like I'm happy they didn't go my way, to be honest, and they went this way instead. I think it was a smarter move. But no, Bullet Clubs are fantastic. So good. I'm happy they got the win on this one.
Throughout most of that 58-minute tag team match, I honestly wanted Bullet Club Gold to win those titles. I really did.
It was a good match.
You know, it was all set up to make them win those titles.
Yeah.
That's honestly my tag team match of the year still so far. I mean,
it's definitely up there.
That's honestly my tag team match of the year right now.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. It has to be up there. There's no discussion about that.
Oh, for sure.
You know, but yeah, it was a good match. I mean, there's nothing to say, but that was really good really good technical wrestling. Honestly, from both sets, it was great.
And I do my matches of the year. I know people are going to say, like, Phil, that's your match of the year, really? I do my matches of the year separately. I do singles matches. I do a singles match of the year, tag team match of the year.
Yeah,
and that's usually how I do
that
things
too.
because there's so many matches that we see in a year, man. And all of these kind of like singles matches and tag team matches, you can't. To me, you really just shouldn't be able to mix those together. Put those two separate, really like give tag team wrestling their spotlight, singles their spotlight, and really have your two matches of the year that really get things going for that 1 year of pro wrestling.
I'll tell you now, I have 2 singles matches of the year that I'm trying to figure out which one I liked more. Chad and Gunther, Kenny and Ospreay. It's really fucking hard to choose because Gunther and Gable's matches have been fire. Kenny and Ospreay's matches have just been, masterclasses.
Yes.
Masterclass.
I cannot wait.
One of the matches that I would love to bring up to you guys both, MJF and Bryan Danielson in that Iron Man match at Revolution. That's my match of the year right now, still. And I know that happened all the way back in February and March, but that's still there.
A really good match.
Valid
I tell you
match.
now, the watch along we did for Revolution on the pod had me standing for all 68 minutes.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit down. And then when we were like, oh, we're going to give an additional 8 minutes to the match, I was like, now I'm nauseous. Now this is where we're going to lose it all and we're going to have to burn New York down because this is going to be not good. But he did it.
Awesome.
That devil himself did it. So, hey.
And a lot of people gave MJF shit. They're like, oh my God, this man can't handle 60 minutes with Bryan Danielson. Like, are you kidding me? The guy fucking proved everybody wrong.
The best shape of his life he got into. There was not an ounce of shred of fat on that man. Did you hear the workout regimen that he did?
Yeah.
It was insane.
I go back and watch those media scrums for MJF and MJF alone at times because the stuff that he actually says, yes, sure, stuff is always going to be in character for him because MJF is the character that he is. But, the stuff that he says is real, people. He went through a ton of training just to get ready for that match. And whatever he said on that scrum to those, media people, 100% legitimate. And you can tell that it was 100% legitimate because of what he showed up in that ring and the body of work that he has done this year alone. So,
and he's a
guy's an absolute freak, too. and I love it. And big fan of pickles.
And it's a big fan of pickles. So, you can't beat it, man. You really can't.
You can't. No. But, this was
I almost got those
great.
Pickles, by the way. I almost got them. I had them in my cart. I was getting paid like 2 days later. And I was like, the day I get paid, I'm going to buy them. I'm like, there's no way in hell everyone's going to buy these pickles in 2 days. There's no fucking way. There's no way. I go to the cart. And I go, all right, I'm going to pay for it. And they're sold out. And I go, son of a bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. I emailed. I'm not even kidding you. I tried to use my internet persona to see if I could get like a stock by any chance of when they restocked. I was like, listen, I'm a wrestling podcast. I live on Long Island. MJF's my neighbor. I lied. I lied to the whole email.
Freaking
and I was like, listen, we can work out a deal. We can work out a promotion, a sponsorship, whatever. I just need these damn pickles for the damn show, please. And she never wrote back. And it's fine. It's totally fine. She probably read it and was like, get him out of here. Like, I ain't doing none of this shit. But listen, I'll take it. If there's another collab ever with MJF and Caitlyn's pickles, I'm buying them immediately that they come available. I'm not waiting.
Awesome stuff. So go to a video package of CJ Perry saying,
Hot and flexible.
talking about she's talking about what happened at All Out, showing footage of her making the save from Powerhouse Hobbs. She makes sure that she basically sat on the sidelines for 2 years. She said that she is here to make Miro a champion. She closed by saying she was the coldest manager in wrestling, and she wants to do it again. So she wants to be on Miro's side. She wants to be on her husband's side. Apparently, CJ Perry just lost all of her accent. So that's interesting. And we will see where things...
She did sound very English.
Yeah,
you know,
she lost...
WWE made
she lost
Florida
all her
woman
accent.
play a Russian. That woman is from Florida, and they made her play a Russian woman for 2 years. That's crazy.
And we'll see where things go. I'm actually loving what Miro and CJ Perry are doing right now. I mean, I've been waiting for CJ Perry to even show up in AEW for the 2 years. Seriously, I've been waiting for this to happen, and now that we're finally going to be able to get it, it's going to be awesome to see. But it doesn't look like Miro's, wanting to reciprocate that.
Listen,
he's
banished his wife
for his women.
He's banished God. He's banished the title. He just wants to take out people like a hitman. That's it. He don't care about nobody but taking out victims. And you know what? Good on him. She's hot and flexible. Don't get me wrong.
Miro crush. I mean, you don't want to see the whole Miro crush. I mean, come on.
Listen,
now.
She's hot and flexible, but he's banished everything. So, it's a hard, thing going on here. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But hey, man, I'm happy CJ.
All I know is I'm very interested in this, and I want to see more.
Oh yeah, me too.
You know what? I don't blame. Yeah. I don't blame Miro for banishing Lana. I mean, after the whole Lashley debacle, I don't blame him. Like you slept with another man. Why you were married? I don't blame him.
We'll see what happens, but I'm very, very interested to see what they do when it comes to CJ Perry now that she is finally in AEW. I personally don't want to see her wrestle. I'm sorry. I think she is just a better fit for that managerial role. It's nothing against CJ and what she did in the ring. It's nothing against that. But I think she just kind of fits more in that role of a managerial type of thing. And her being with the Miro or without Miro, because, things are kind of rocky right now between husband and wife. I think that kind of just fits where it needs to fit best, and I think the managerial role just works. So, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with CJ Perry moving forward. I didn't even see an all-in an all-elite graphic when it comes to CJ Perry, so I don't know if she's legitimately signed yet with the company.
Apparently she's not on a long-term deal.
Part-time.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Okay, so they might honestly just be doing this whole thing with Miro, and then.
But then again, it took them 2 years to get Scott Blue out an all elite graphic. So
that's very true. That's very true. She signed. She had like 80+ matches in AEW, and then all of a sudden she finally got a graphic like not too long ago. I mean, it's crazy. So who knows? She might have already been signed for the 2 years. They just wanted to do things now.
Yeah, they just haven't done it.
No, they said they signed her like the week before All In.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Okay. Well, fuck me, I guess. But yeah, so that's interesting. Back from break, and we go to a vignette of the Dark Order asking for their support. They talked about not having any catchphrases. But that's Orange Cassidy's catchphrase now. He's Orange Cassidy and he doesn't have a catchphrase. So what are they trying to imply there? Dark Order. I like the Dark Order, but what are they doing? What what is that? You know,
I
it's
don't
the
know.
whole
Ever
Dark
since
Order.
Brody passed, they've been kind of directions.
Very up and down. Very up and down. And it's like
They had an opportunity against the ROH Tag Team Champions better than you, baby, on a
They did.
pay-per-view.
They did. I mean, it kind of just seemed meaningless because they won a Battle Royal just 24 hours before that. But hey, you know, it is what it is. But hey,
You know, sometimes the shows don't have
you
to
gotta
make
get
sense.
what you gotta get at this point. But yeah, so we got the Dark Order, all good there. And then we have another vignette of the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn announcing that they're going to be starting their world tour. They talk about their title defenses and hanging out with Dennis Rodman. They said that they will bring the biggest scissor parties to take over the wrestling world. Wrestling's horny nowadays, people, because all we do is scissor.
Like the shirt says, just scissor me, daddy ass,
you were
baby.
fucking wearing that. I didn't fucking realize you were wearing that shit.
Just scissor me, daddy ass, baby. All right, the scissor party is coming to LI, and it's gonna hit all the big states, and I can't wait for the party to begin. Oh, absolutely. The wrestling community is probably the horniest community I have ever been a part of in any.
We're a bunch of hornballs. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you know, if you live in the mom's basement and you watch wrestling and, you know, you're over 30, I get it. I understand why, you know. But, hey, listen. That's what we got. That's what we got right here.
There you go,
I don't
man.
live in my mom's basement. I'm not 30 yet, you know, but.
I love the Acclaimed. So the Acclaimed are always going to be great people in my book. You know, when I saw them win the tag team titles last year at Grand Slam, I was like, you know, over the moon about it because they beat Swerve in Our Glory, which I actually loved that tag team at the time.
That was a great tag team.
But they won the tag team titles at Grand Slam last year. I thought they were going to have a really good run. They had a good run for what it was, but yeah, I mean, that Grand Slam match between those two teams were awesome. And I got to meet Johnny, Marissa, Erica, and Malcolm again when they were over there at the Grand Slam that year. And as soon as I saw Malcolm and Johnny, they just put their scissors up, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then we just did the whole thing. And it's just it's infectious, man. It's infectious. You can't not do it when it happens.
By the way, shout out to the Triple Threat Pod, Johnny, Erica, Marissa.
The Triple Threat Pod is always, you know, just fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good podcast. I just started recently listening to their pod. I follow them on TikTok, on social media and stuff. And Johnny, Marissa, and Erin, I think her name is. Erica, that's it. Sorry. I was like, Erica. I knew it started with me.
Erica.
She just, I just saw her recent one about her, what the hell is it? She just got a whole bunch of T-shirts from wrestling convention I think she just went to, from Pro Wrestling Tees thing. So that was really cool to see a bunch of the shirts that she got. But, you know, they're great. They're great people over there. I watch their stuff, and I listen to their podcast. So, but Malcolm is that Bel Air? A-Town?
No, Bel Air? That's Axel. That's Axel.
That's Axel. Okay.
Muscle Man Malcolm.
To be honest with you guys, I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm not trying to big anybody up here or whatnot. I consider you and all of them the famous people of the community, which is funny because like I saw you guys first, like before getting into this, like I was saying before, and you know I followed Axel, I followed you, and you were the two that I watched the most, and then I started watching Scooplex a lot. And then, what else did I start watching? I just started recently watching Marissa, Johnny, and Erica the past like 7 months, 8 months, something like that. Like middle of like the summer last year into now here. So now you're probably a year now. So, but yeah, no, you guys are great. So yeah, I get to hang out with a celebrity tonight. So that's not bad. You know what I mean?
It's awesome, man. Yes.
Hey, do
Trust
it.
me,
That's what
man.
you are. To me,
I
to
appreciate
me,
the
to
kind
me,
words I
to
do,
me,
but
you are.
I don't think I'm there yet.
Nah, listen, you know these people. I don't know these fucking people. I know them through my phone. I can't, I can't join their lives or anything like that. I know you got that in. You got that in. So, it's nice. Now, do you know
I
Weezus
really do.
or any of them as well?
Yes.
Or
Wheezy? Yeah, Wheezy.
Yeah, Wheezy. Well, Weezus is her thing on there, but yeah, Weezy's a great human.
Listen, Deontay, we're sitting with a celebrity.
Lover.
We made it, buddy.
Yeah, for
We
real.
made it. You know what I mean?
Nah, for
So
real.
honestly, this is awesome.
We keep telling Phil
That's how we know we made it.
we keep telling Phil to flex that celebrity, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, listen, you guys you guys all need to come on the pod now for me. That's it. And that's it.
Hey,
I'll
definitely get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's awesome. I really do appreciate the kind words. So we did get that whole thing with the Acclaimed, and it looks like they are going to be. It's not confirmed yet, but they could be setting something up for AEW Grand Slam when it comes to defending those titles. So who knows? Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But if it does, I would absolutely love to see it. We then got Rey Fenix versus Angelico in a. I'm gonna say it was random, but it was fun. I haven't seen Angelico in about honestly 2.5 years on AEW programming, so this was interesting. But Angelico's awesome. I like Angelico. I do.
Never knew who the hell he was until tonight.
No,
we just haven't seen him.
One of the first OGs of AEW, but he hasn't been on TV in 2 years.
He's been signed since the very beginning. It's just that we don't see him. So honestly, we're kind of in the same book as you because we don't get to see him.
I have no idea who the hell he was until tonight.
But he's a cool dude.
I knew him from his days of Lucha Underground.
He was a dog.
Yeah, because he's a part of the Lucha culture. There. Yeah, he was good. He was good tonight. I was keeping an eye. I was keeping an eye on him.
I hope we get to see more of Angelico and what's the guy's name?
Serpentico.
Well, Serpentico was out there with him tonight, but
Serpentico, that's his name.
But
he's talking about he has another tag
an actual tag team partner.
I don't know who.
Yeah, it's three of them.
I don't know who the other one is. I forgot his name.
I'm going to look him up because it bothers me when I don't know that kind of a thing. All right, let's see. Jack Evans. That's it. Jack Evans.
What a
Angelico and Jack Evans.
Generic ass name.
It is a very generic name, but he is fucking fantastic too.
That is the widest name.
Jack.
That is the widest name.
What the fuck is that?
That is the widest name I've ever heard.
Angelico and Jack Evans.
Dude,
yes.
It's so bland. It's so bland.
It is bland. It is bland.
Who are you guys? Oh, I'm Angelico. I'm Pentago. Oh, I'm Jack.
Jack Evans.
Get out of here, Jack. Get the hell out of here,
well,
bro.
I mean, they were AAA tag team. Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, I think he might have just disappeared
he'll get
for a
back
moment.
in here.
Yeah.
He'll get back in here, but we'll switch it to the 2 real quick. Oh, nope, he's back, and he is right here. So
my bad.
I forgot to switch it back to the 3.
I clicked on the X by mistake.
He was laughing so hard that he exited himself out of here.
That is true.
That
is actually true.
So I mean, they were former AAA tag team, worldwide tag team champions. So I mean, hell, they have something under their belt, together. But it is what it is. We never see Jack Evans, and this is the first time in 2.5 years that we've seen Angelico tonight. So interesting enough as it is, Rey Fenix won the match anyway, so it is good there. And Rey Fenix drove Angelico's head in with that pile driver, and I was like, holy shit.
That was crazy.
Awesome stuff. So Rey covered in Helico for a kick out at the count of 2. After a huge drop kick that was nailed. And then Helico once again got dropped on his head with that pile driver and got him the win 1-2-3. I was gonna say Rey fucking Mysterio. It's not Rey Mysterio. A lot of people were actually telling me, Phil, that was Rey Mysterio, like during the early days of me watching AEW. I'm like, guys, no, it's not. Don't do that to me.
Mysterio.
It's not Rey Mysterio, it's Rey Fénix, and he got the win before we got into our main event. But it was a cool match for what it was. Haven't seen a Helico in fucking forever. And Rey Fénix,
in a minute either.
Always good to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rey Fénix is awesome. So it's always great to see him on there.
It sucked that he couldn't go to All In because of the visa issue. If he was able to go to All In, I think it really would have made a huge impact for him in that ladder match where El Zero Miedo was a part of and everything. Yeah. It would have been really, really cool to see him and in Wembley. But hopefully next year, because they want to come back. They announced it at the end of the show, August 27th of next year or 28th of next year. They're coming back to Wembley. So,
I mean, I want to go to All In so badly.
Hey, listen, you
either go to All In or you're going to WrestleMania, and I am not missing WrestleMania. So it's like
I will be missing WrestleMania. I almost was gonna go, but other things came up, so unfortunately I will not be. But I will. I would have liked to have gone, but I might go to All In instead. Might do All In instead.
Look, I mean. At this point in time,
so you know what?
All In is basically their version of WrestleMania now. So if you got to go to AEW's version of WrestleMania, it's not honestly that far off. They did fantastic over there for All In.
No, they did a great job.
So we go back to the locker room area, and Tony Schiavone talking with FTR, running down all the tag teams that they have beat. They ask who is next to step up to the World Tag Team Champions. They need more challengers. So they announce next week for any team to challenge them on Collision. Any team at all that wants to step up, challenge them for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And it turns out that we actually already got that team announced, and it is the former Bear Country. I think they're now. I don't even know what their name is now.
Yeah,
Iron Savages.
Yeah, the
I liked Bear Country more. I think Bear Country was fantastic with them, and I loved Bear Country. But now FTR are getting into these open challenges type of deal, and I don't like that because it's FT motherfucking R. Why can't we get tag team wrestling for stories?
You know why.
What is the concept here?
You know why, Phil. And we know too, damn it. It's because they don't got no goddamn staff over there but Tony motherfucking Khan. And he's just losing it over there. All right? He's losing it.
I really don't think
he don't know anything no more.
It's this foreign of a concept. I really don't think it's this foreign of a concept. We're either getting tournaments or we're just getting these open challenges. You're running tournaments into ground, and I love tournaments. I think tournaments are honestly one of the best things about pro wrestling. But you're running them to the ground. Then you're getting these open challenges. You're running these guys into the ground.
Yeah. He's playing
creativity,
too much FIFA.
People. What happened?
Yeah. He's playing too much FIFA tournaments. You know what I mean? He's playing a little too much basketball tournaments. I think he just wishes he was a part of the tournament. And I'm waiting for him and Aubrey Edwards to team up against like Tony Schiavone and Kevin Kelly or something. Like let's
Aubrey
really
kicks ass in the ring. I don't know if you know this, bro, but she can kick ass.
Yeah, that's why I want her on Tony's team because at least he's got backup. At least he's got backup. You know, Samoa Joe was back up recently.
Seriously,
upgraded to Aubrey Edwards. You know what I mean? Like, let's get him in there. Let's get him in there.
It's absolutely crazy, man. But we're getting now these open challenges for FTR. I thought what they meant, but like this tag team, challenge type of deal. I thought this was just another goddamn fucking tournament. I did. I thought they basically just announced another tournament to decide a number one contender for the tag team titles. For like, let's say, Full Gear or whatever. I thought they were going to be doing something like that. But they just said, nah, we're going to have an open challenge for the tag team titles next week on Collision. And it's fucking Bear Country. I love Bear Country. But they're not winning the titles. And I want Bear Country to win. Like, I love Bear Country. I think Bear Country are fantastic. Bear Bronson. Bear Bronson. Bear Boulder. I mean, they're fantastic. I know that's not their names anymore. But Bear Country were fantastic. And now they took them away. And now they're the Iron Savages, which is okay, I guess.
I bet you they're managed by that guy, Jack. All right? I bet you they're managed by the guy, Jack.
Jack Evans.
Jack Evans is their manager, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I'm actually going to look that up. I'm going to look up Iron Savages on...
He's going to look it up.
I'm going to look up Iron Savages right now.
Who's their manager? Jack Evans, son of a bitch.
And see what this is, because this is all right. So we got Bear Bronson, Bear Boulder.
They were on Collision before All In, I want to say.
Yes.
And the one guy lost his mind and he started talking about ass eating in the middle of the match.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
The ass eaters are coming back. See, now what's funny, and I don't mean to put it out there, but they should face the Acclaimed. You got Daddy Ass. You got the Ass Eaters. I think you're really writing tag team comedy gold right here. If Tony really just wants to throw shit to the wall and hopes it sticks, at least that we all kind of win. You know what I mean? So
yes,
I think we lost Deontay. I think he's losing his mind over there, laughing so hard over everything we're saying.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. I don't actually see them even being managed by somebody. I know they are, but they're not listing it right now. Apparently a former manager of them was JT Davidson, but I don't know who that is.
Probably the brother of Jack Evans.
Most likely.
Probably the brother of Jack Evans.
I actually think Angelico and Jack Evans are brothers. If I'm not wrong, I actually think that's the thing. But if they aren't,
well, he has a cooler brother. I tell you that he is.
Yeah, it's a cooler brother, I guess. It always seems to be the case. But yeah, I mean, now we're getting this FTR Open Challenge thing for Bear Country / Iron Savages. I always call them Bear Country. I don't care. I think
call them a better name. It's your show, baby. Call them what you want. Listen, I only know them as Iron Savages, and they didn't hold my attention as Iron Savages.
They did the whole Bear Claw thing when I saw them first, and I was like, "That's fucking awesome, man!" I actually thought one of them was like. One of them was like my long lost like uncle at one point because they looked so similar. It was like so awesome, but
you, John?
It is what it is now. It is awesome, but we'll see what happens when it comes to that tag team match next week on Collision, as they have the World Tag Team titles on the line. And then we got finally to the main event, guys. Actually, no, not main event. There's the last two matches still before the main event. We got finally into the Grand Slam World Title Eliminator semifinals. Darby Allin and Roderick Strong here. Darby Allin got his ass kicked by Luchasaurus and Christian before the match even took place.
Beat down by the father of the
Darby,
year.
he's like, you know what? He's like, screw it. I'm going to go out there anyway. And he did this thing with Roderick Strong, and it turned out to be a really solid match between the two. But it was quick because obviously Roderick took advantage of Darby just getting his ass kicked, and Roderick Strong won this thing. And it was It was awesome. Awesome to see Roderick Strong move on to the finals. Kind of predictable, but he moved on to the finals, and it is what it is. Good stuff. Honestly, really good stuff there. And then as soon as the match is over, obviously the Kingdom came in, put that neck brace on Roderick Strong real quick so that his neck didn't get any more damage from the match. It was just, I love the Kingdom. But really good match here between Roderick and Darby, because those two, seriously, I honestly don't think they could have a bad match. Seriously, those two are great.
No, I don't think so either. But I think the crazy part that kind of happened that everybody was definitely maybe talking about was the fact that AR Fox came out there to help out Nick Wayne and Darby.
Yep.
And AR Fox was trying to help take out the Kingdom. And unfortunately, the Kingdom, being smart, neck strong guys, as well as their leader, of course, Roddy Strong, pushed Nick in the way to take the bump from AR, and AR and Nick Wayne look to be having a match possibly in the near future. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. We shall see. But no, overall the show, again, it's not, it hasn't let up off the pedal so far. And even the last two moments, including the last match, just definitely keep pushing to the pedal, keep pushing it to the limit.
I love how Kevin Kelly is like, that was accidental. He's like, and Nigel is like, just trying to stir the pot. He's like, no, man, did you see that? I was like, I freaking love Nigel McGuinness and Kevin Kelly together on commentary purposes. Fantastic. I love that duo for Collision. So it's awesome to see them two just working really, really well together. But yeah, who knows? We can see Nick Wayne and AR Fox in some sort of a match. I would actually absolutely love to see that. And it could really work out very well. Deontay, if you're still there, my man, how did you feel about this match between Roddy Strong and Darby Allin, Mr. Darby Allin?
I love the match. The match was crazy. Darby Allin is a crazy motherfucker. That backbreaker spot on the turnbuckle, holy shit, that was crazy. Yeah. But it was a good match. It was a great match.
Yeah.
I love the whole Lonnie and neck brace thing. But it was a good match.
Neck brace is really just, it really digs on into
it's the fans. It's the icing on the cake.
It's the icing on the cake. So after the match, Nick is checking on Darby as Fox comes in, but Nick pushes him away and jaws at Fox. We then go to a video package with Powerhouse talking about his feud with Miro. Everyone will fall to the Book of Hobbs. I love Powerhouse. I think Powerhouse is absolutely awesome. I really want him to succeed in this company. If it wasn't for Swerve and what he has done so incredibly well over the course of the last few months, I was honestly really pushing for Powerhouse Hobbs to be the first Black AEW World Champion. I was. I thought, he could have definitely been that guy to do something with, but then all of a sudden Swerve came into the mix and he was really egging things on to really make a strong case for him to be that. It's a race between those two for me still, man, because those two are killing it right now in this game. I love everything Swerve's doing, and I love everything Powerhouse is doing. So if Tony Khan ever wanted to give the belt to those two, I'm down for either. They're great.
I approve.
I second it.
So then we get this Bryan Danielson situation. And Tony Schiavone's in the ring. And Bryan Danielson, he's coming out to a huge ovation in Cleveland. Tony asks Bryan, what's next? Bryan says that he told his daughter that once she turned 7, he would finish up his career. He says she is now 6. And he keeps promises to the ones that he loves. But time is running out. He says that that he will not be going down this gently into the good night. He says that he will kick everyone's head in. He says that this is his last and final year. It will be the most epic year of his career. He says that he is calling the shots. He then says, Seattle, Washington, Wrestle Dream. I want to fight Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
As Ricky Starks comes out with Big Bill. Fucking Big Bill. I still hate that
Big
name.
ass Bill.
I hate that name. You could have called him Kaz XL. I don't know if that's trademarked by Impact or whatever, but you could have called him Kaz XL. You could have called him Big Kaz or whatever. You could do something. But Big Bill.
Big Bill.
Big Bill. That's my neighbor. I have a neighbor named Bill, and he is big, but I don't call him Big Bill. I just say, "Hey, Bill, what's up?" I just say, "Hey, Bill, what's up?" He fucking swears at me every single time he says that, but I love Bill. I think Bill's awesome.
You should call him Big Bill.
If he ever catches wind of this, hi, Bill. What's up?
Hey, Bill. What's up, Bill?
But Ricky Starks, he says that he is on Collision, but has to sit through catering again, and Bryan gets all the attention. Ricky says that he is the face of Collision. He is in the ring with Big Bill, telling Bryan how he has graduated from being hungry to being greedy, and he is going to take it all within his nature. Bryan says that he wished that Ricky would have been more patient because he wasn't done just yet. He tells Ricky that he saw what Ricky was able to accomplish, and he approves. He was offering Ricky the spot in BCC because he's like, look, if you ever want to be a part of BCC, you have to bleed with us. And damn it, you bled with me that night at All In. But Big Bill then all of a sudden dropped Bryan, and he pulls Big Bill away. And we were like, oh, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, he piled on Bryan, and I was like, oh, God damn it, fucking Ricky. And I was like, Ricky just is being Ricky. So Mox then all of a sudden comes out to make the save, but Big Bill takes out Mox with a big boot, and everything that Big Bill does is big. I'm sorry, guys. It's just the God honest truth. He's a big guy. So takes him out with a big boot.
Big forehead, big boot, big dummy.
He's
Yeah.
So
yeah.
There you go.
I want to go to small bit.
Ricky then has the shirt that Bryan was going to give him if he wanted to join the BCC, but he ultimately ended up choking him with it, and Big Bill then choked out Mox with it as well. Ricky's music then hit, and Big Bill, they both head up to the ramp and stick it to the fans. Back in the ring, and Bryan is out cold with Moxley trying to recover. So they're doing this whole thing with Big Bill taking on Moxley, I believe, on Wednesday for the International Championship. That's insane. That's just another open challenge match to me, but we'll see where things go when it comes to that, even though I do like Big Bill in spots like this, especially guys like Moxley. And it looks like this Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks feud is going to continue for a little while longer, up until we get to Wrestle Dream in October. But I will ask, are we going to be seeing Zack Sabre Jr. in any part of this?
I hope so.
Because, Zack Sabre Jr. is going to have some sort of TV time throughout this whole thing to get to October.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we knew that day was going to come for Daniel Bryan. Eventually the injuries, the concussions, the breaking of arms, the contusions, everything that he's put his body through and over, and surgeries and everything else in between was going to come to an end. I'm proud that he kind of knows his end date, which would be most likely sometime next year when his daughter turns 7. And I know he's a man of his word. He seems like an honest and good man for that. So if it is when she turns 7, which will be next year, hey, let him have a great match. Let him have some moments. Let him have a title opportunity, a title reign of some sort. Let him go out on his own accord, like he's saying. Facing someone like Zack Sabre Jr., I think is definitely heading off to be an amazing retirement moment. Honestly, you can't get any better right now than Zack Sabre. Amazing technical superstar, really a true gifted, talented athlete. I've seen him a few times in Ring of Honor. I've seen him a couple in New Japan. He is really in and out of the ring, just a special talent. So I'm very excited. It might be the match of the night for Wrestle Dream. It really might be. Like,
really
I
could be,
don't
for sure.
Don't know where you go now with the card from here. If you're drawing an ace on this possible royal flush, I'm very curious to see where it's going to be leading. But nonetheless, Ricky with big old Billy Bob is coming down the ramp to cause some trouble. And I thought he was going to join the BCC. I was like, okay, maybe it's not a bad idea. Let's see what happens. But I'm happier that we didn't see him turn into a BCC member. Honestly, this makes me more excited for Ricky Starks. And, there's that conversation since the unfortunate, or not unfortunate to some, but fortunate to some, departure of Mr. Full Brooks. Everyone's saying they need somebody to run Collision. Ricky could be one of those guys in contention to run or be a part of the reason why you watch Collision. I've enjoyed his work so far that he's given us. He had an amazing match with Danielson last Sunday. So I think the ceiling isn't his limit. The sky is. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. It really is.
There you go.
It really, really will be.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think really the 3 people that honestly 4 or 5 people that I could, really bring, the AEW Collision roster, so to speak, around. Powerhouse Hobbs, Miro, Ricky Starks, Bryan Danielson, Jay White. Those are really the top 5 to me, to where you can legitimately build a roster around all those 5 guys and really make that roster seem super, super impactful and something totally different than what we get on Wednesday nights when it comes to Dynamite. That's why I honestly would like to see I know they call it like a soft brand split, and the whole soft brand split works for AEW, considering they can just switch people around whenever they need to see fit. But that's why I like this whole soft brand split type of thing, because before it was CM Punk on AEW Collision, that was his show, but we couldn't get guys like Hangman Page or Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks, or basically anybody that he could not work with because of his ego on that show. We could not get there. But now we can. If the story calls for it. And I think that works out very, very well. And we can see multiple people like this on these shows when the story calls for it. And it's going to be awesome to see. You don't need like a full-on brand split, but if you do this soft brand split where we can like see certain people on certain shows, but also spread it out to the masses, it's a great deal. And it's a great deal for AEW, especially with the stacked roster that they have. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that. What you said, it's very accurate. I guess I'll be the first one to say it, at least on your channel. Before I say it on mine, this is the first Collision without Phil Brooks, and it did really well.
yeah.
And I gotta say, because I said it at All In and I said it at All Out. It's not going to be long until we start saying Collision's that fucking show. And I tell you now, if this is the way we're going to do things, you got my money.
I will
my money, my attention, my time, everything.
I will say this. It definitely felt like a way different show without Phil being there. It definitely did. But I like, the thing is, when it comes to difference is not always a bad thing. And when it comes to all that kind of a deal, when you have Miro, when you have Powerhouse Hobbs, when you have Jay White, Bryan Danielson, Ricky Starks, you got these people going around you guys, and it can make the show better by just those people involved around it. Now, I always said, besides NXT, because NXT's been absolutely killing it, and it's a me thing. I just can't usually sit down on Tuesday nights and watch it consistently, but I gotta get better at it. Besides NXT,
a lot of content.
Collision is definitely, it's just another fucking day. But I also don't get home from work up until the time when NXT starts, so it's not usually my time to, like, all right, I gotta automatically get home just to watch NXT. I usually have to decompress. So
it's literally it's 5 days a week if you add NXT. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. It's a lot.
Yeah. And Thursday if you watch Impact.
Oh, right.
But
and
Thursday,
it depends there too. Member.
You're basically watching wrestling every single day of the week. It's fucking insane. But basically what I was saying is that I usually don't get to watch NXT on a regular basis on Tuesday, because I don't usually get home until the time when it actually starts. So I don't usually get to watch it live. Besides NXT, Collision was my personal favorite wrestling show of the entire week, because you got great stuff going over there, and the stories that they have going on over there are great. So Collision has been my personal favorite show of the entire week, and I love it because it's on a Saturday and you don't really have to do anything other than just sit down, a couple of friends if you're going over, and you have a couple of beers and you just have a good time.
Yes, sir.
But then again, it is on a terrible spot, because Saturday at 8 o'clock, normally not many people are home on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock. They're either drinking beers with a couple of friends and just choking the shit. So it's just,
not to mention, college football is back on, so
and now college football
ain't what
is
I'm
back
doing on Saturday. I tell you that. I'm out here.
It's terrible.
I'm out here watching the shit.
And trust me, people ask me all the time, Phil, do you ever think that Tony Khan would ever move AEW Collision to a different night? No. They would never move it to a Monday. They would never move it to a Thursday, because Tony Khan, who is half owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, would never want to compete with the NFL. They don't have to. WWE, when it comes to Monday Night Raw, they could care fucking... They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And especially now with the Endeavor merger that is happening later on this week, they don't give a fuck. So it's going to happen. Yep. But Tony Khan, he knows that he would never want to compete with the NFL, and that's good for him, and it's his prerogative. They gave him that Saturday show because that was legitimately the only time that they could have possibly gave it. So Tony Khan took the ball and he ran with it.
Right.
You have to. If you want more time for your roster, and if you want more time for your AEW product as a whole, they gave you what you want, more time. Take it, run with it. And he's been doing nothing but great things when it comes to Collision.
Correct. 100%. Better, very well spoken.
And then we got this final thing, which is the main event. This was the main event. Penta versus Samoa Joe and we will do this very quickly because it's been a 2-hour show. We're been going longer than Collision, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry
But-
guys, we're going. We're partying tonight. You know what I mean? We're partying this week.
If it probably wasn't a 4 or maybe 20-25 minute rant on the women's division, probably would have cut this
Sorry.
down. But it wasn't.
Sorry.
But it wasn't your fault. It wasn't really any of our fault. We just want women's wrestling to succeed, people. That's all we want,
Yes,
and that's
yes,
why we
indeed.
did that tangent. But we usually get on tangents anyway, bro. So I mean, it happens. If you've seen the show before, it happens.
It's not
Yeah.
OTB unless
It's not
one
an
of us goes on a
OTB without
random
it.
tangent. It's not OTB if
It's
we're not
not
going on a
OTB
random
without
tangent.
it.
Or
I mean, we're
yeah,
419 episodes deep, and we probably had like over
congratulations.
800 tangents.
Wow, that's crazy.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
The first show with fans coming back. That was episode 1. That's SmackDown.
Wow.
That's SmackDown with fans coming back. That was the first episode.
Wow.
I didn't want here's the thing. OTB was in the works way before the fans came back. Way before. I got so many people involved in all of this, but I didn't want to do the show during the pandemic era. It just wasn't what I was going to enjoy watching, because honestly, I didn't really watch during the pandemic era. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't blame you.
Lie to you.
I don't blame you.
I didn't really watch during
That's
the
when I
pandemic
started
era.
watching wrestling again.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
didn't start my pod until a week before Royal Rumble of this year.
Okay.
Literally the week before Rumble, I did the first episode. And then the week after the Rumble happened, I did a review for it. And that's how I kind of did shows going forward. But, I started watching during the pandemic era. My first match back was, and I hate to say it because this is the first time I was introduced to Bray Wyatt, was the Cena match with him. And I was like, what in God's name am I watching right here?
The
Firefly Funhouse match.
Probably.
I didn't know what the hell I was watching. I didn't know who. All I saw was a bald John Cena and this guy that was wearing a leather face mask, and I said, "What the fuck is going on here?"
The cinematic matches back then were insane. But honestly, they were probably the most entertaining things that could have happened on those shows.
Yeah, because I went back and I watched Bray's stuff and everything to know who the hell he was and whatnot.
Okay, so you really didn't know much about Bray.
No, that was my first introduction to Bray Wyatt, was that match.
Oh, okay.
So because my buddy Sam is a huge fan of wrestling, another person that got me back into wrestling. He goes, "You should watch this pay-per-view with me." And it was the same pay-per-view where it was AJ and The Undertaker had the fight outside in the graveyard.
The Boneyard
match. This is the first wrestling
match.
This was the first wrestling content I've seen since probably 2010. Honestly, it was that long.
Wow. So you took a long break.
I took a huge break. And
2010 is when I started.
Yeah, I'm 30. I turned 30 next year. So I watched Ruthless Aggression Era, Attitude Era. So, my versatile of knowledge of wrestling extends very immensely. But first going back into wrestling, he goes, "Oh, you got Undertaker." And I'm like, all right, I know him. And they're like, "Yeah, you got AJ Styles, and they're going to have a Boneyard match." I said, "What the fuck is a Boneyard match?" And then he was like, "You should just watch the pay-per-view. Just watch the pay-per-view." It's okay. And I'm watching, and I'm like, all right, it's not bad. And then came the Bray Wyatt match with Cena. And all of a sudden, all this shit happened very quickly. It just went segment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then it was Bray covering Cena with Bray as the referee counting. And then Cena disappeared. And then that was the match. And I go, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And he goes, "Oh, that's Bray Wyatt." And I go, "Well, Bray's a banana head because I don't know what the hell I just watched here. And he was like, well, you got to go back and watch all the great stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back to where he started because I don't know what the fuck I just saw. And I went back.
Yeah.
I went back to when he was with the Wyatt family. I went far back. I did go to Husky Harris for a little while to learn about like who he was in the beginning. But then when he introduced the Wyatt family in NXT and then brought it to WWE and then The Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse. And I liked the Mr. McMahon puppet. I thought the Mr. McMahon puppet was hilarious. Yeah. I mean, very, very funny. But no, rest in peace, Bray. But yeah, no, that was my first pay-per-view back. That was my first wrestling content back. And it was a Boneyard match and Bray Wyatt. And I go, what the hell am I watching? I thought the Boneyard match was the best match of the whole entire night. Because I was like, the fact that AJ thought he beat him and he's on top of the fucking roof and he's like, I did it. And all of a sudden he's just right behind him and he's like, shit. And he just grabbed him and choke slammed him. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? Yeah.
I'm honestly probably never gonna go back to watch that WrestleMania because that WrestleMania to me.
I'm sorry, I never will.
WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 36 would have been so much better with the fans, but I'm like, it's just the whole thing that happens. But yeah, no, there were definitely some matches over there on that show that definitely resonate with a lot of people because that's usually when people did get back. And like, I kept up with things throughout that whole pandemic era. I did because obviously I'm a fan of wrestling. I'm going to keep up with it. But I don't know, man. I just didn't want to start the whole podcast, with the no fans aspect because I mean, the fans are a huge part of this thing. It's a huge part of this thing. So I was like, until these fans come back, we'll see.
When I started watching AEW, it was during the moment when Jericho and MJF just had their fight and Wardlow was MJF's like little lackey and everything. Yep. And I didn't like MJF in the beginning. I was like, oh, fuck this guy. He's annoying. Like, he's terrible. He's, this, that, and third. I didn't like the Acclaimed in the beginning. I wasn't scissoring nobody. Ask Sam. If you ask Sam, he'll tell you the same thing. And then eventually I'm sitting there. I watched the CM Punk return. And I'm like, holy shit. All right, I'm starting to get back in the groove. And then I started watching every Wednesday religiously. And I'd watch a little bit of Raw. And I watch a little bit of SmackDown. But I just wasn't there yet with WWE until I started picking up a little bit more. And then I'd only watch Rampage and I'd only watch Dynamite. And that was it. That was my only wrestling content. So 3 hours a night of the week. And that was it. And then I started getting into the groove and then eventually turned into what we all are doing now. And now I watch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But
and I mind the podcast and game streaming and all this other shit I do.
Oh yeah, man. We go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm gonna get back into this whole Saturday thing. I haven't done a Saturday.
Hey, I'll join you on Saturdays. I'm cool with that.
Fucking forever.
If you have me, I'll come on Saturdays. I don't care.
Hey, I'd love it, man. I just love bouncing things off with people. Bouncing off ideas. Talking with somebody about the storylines or whatever happens. Because it's an awesome thing to have. But yeah, no, it's awesome. Love doing this thing, and we're not stopping anytime soon, peoples. So finally, let's get this main event
let's get
going.
The last match out of the way here.
Samoa Joe won this thing. Obviously, it was a very predictable, a very, very predictable finals. I'm gonna say this right now. I mean, you saw the bracket and everything. It was a very predictable final, especially with how things were going when it comes to Adam Cole and MJF. You just saw things. I mean, Samoa Joe was yelling at MJF this past Wednesday on Dynamite. I mean, you kind of saw the goddamn writing on the wall. If Samoa Joe does not win this tournament, I'm going to be very, very shocked. But we'll see. But it's going to be awesome to see Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong this Wednesday on Dynamite. So we see. So Samoa Joe, he drops Penta, landing a senton, and covers Penta for a very, very close 2 count. Joe is on the outside, and Penta is looking to do a dive. And as Penta was in mid-flight, Joe does his signature Samoa Joe walking away spot, and there was a table prompt on the barricade and the floor, and Penta crashed through the table. I love the Samoa
That was
Joe
probably
walking
the
away
best.
nonchalantly spot.
That
I
was the best
love it.
one. That was the best one. Penta went through a table. That was the best one.
Samoa Joe walking away nonchalantly, just like, all right, it's whatever. I love it. I just love Samoa Joe.
I'll tell you this.
You can give it to me every time.
Between that spot and Darby's spot on Wednesday with Nick Wayne, when he came out through those middle ropes,
that was
he
crazy.
is very lucky that he had enough willpower to somewhat tuck his chin, and that chin took most of that bump before the rest of his body on that guardrail. Because if he didn't cover himself in any pit, his neck was going back, and that was it for him.
Yeah,
I mean, what a fucking
Darby's an animal. I mean, I don't understand why he does the risks that he does, but he's a
that man is gonna be retired by 40
animal.
if he keeps.
He's already 30. I think he's like 32.
He's going by the time he's 40, he won't be able to walk no more. This man's crazy.
Darby's like 30 something. 32, 33, something like that.
Darby is 30.
30. I tell you now, when Darby did that, the best was they panned over to Nick Wayne, the cameraman, and Nick went and was like, shit.
He was like, oh my God.
He was like, was I supposed to catch him? Was I supposed to stop him? Shit, I think I was
supposed to be there.
Yeah,
was
like,
I
oh man,
take
they just killed this guy.
Was that supposed to happen?
Was I supposed to take that?
He's sitting in the chair during commercial break, during picture-in-picture when there's a doctor and two refs over there checking on Darby who hasn't moved yet. And he's just sitting there like shit. Like he doesn't know what he just
like, dude, you were supposed to catch him. You were supposed to be in that spot. He's like, I'm sorry.
I'm just a kid. It's fine, man.
It's like, I'm just 18 years old. I don't give a shit. You're supposed to catch him. He's your mentor. But it's insane whenever they do that. And it's insane whenever Samoa Joe just does the nonchalantly walking away spot, because he does it every single time. He's fantastic at it.
You think people will stop trying to jump on Samoa Joe?
Nobody should ever try to, dive to Samoa Joe, because if you do, you're just gonna
He's walking away.
Reverse. He's walking away. So it's just happening. But he brings Penta back into the ring after all of this. He locks in a coquina clutch, and Penta quickly submits, taps out, and Samoa Joe is basically celebrating as we go off the air, and it'll be Samoa Joe versus Roderick Strong on Wednesday in the finals. I expect nothing less than a great match between Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe on Wednesday, but if Samoa Joe does not win this final, I'm going to be very shocked.
I tell you now, he's the reason why Roddy has that broken neck.
Long-term booking.
Long-term booking, baby.
It
you know what? It might pay off really well. And it's to the point that we made at the beginning of the show. If you can do it correctly, and they do it sometimes really well, where there's good moments, and then there's other times where it just doesn't work out. But yeah, no.
I will say this tournament was very predictable. But that they did the story throughout this bracket. I mean, Samoa Joe was the one that, broke Roddy's neck. This whole thing happened. Now they're in the finals, and we'll see where things go. I mean, it's a thing.
I was cheering for Jeff Hardy. I was sitting there. I'm like, oh, Jeff's got this. I
love that match because it brought me back to the old TNA days.
Yeah, when him and Joe went at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember TNA. Jesus, I'm old. I remember
I
TNA.
love TNA. I love TNA.
TNA was fucking wild. Perk Angle all day, every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
I got into watching TNA during the times of Aces and Eights. That was my first introduction of TNA. Obviously,
That
I
was a
mean,
wild
you
time.
do your research and you do your homework all the time, and Perk Angle, all that kind of a thing.
Go watch that
it's
documentary
just
on
insane.
Peacock.
I definitely have to watch that.
Amazing documentary.
Yeah, I definitely have to watch that. The greatest triple threat in, honestly, to me, the history of the sport. Daniels, Joe, Styles. I believe it was Unbreakable 2005.
Yes.
That was a good one.
That triple threat. Honestly, one of the best triple threats I've ever seen, and honestly, probably one of the best triple threats in TNA's history. Fantastic.
I tell you one
I could talk
triple
TNA
threat.
all day.
Listen, I could tell you one triple threat match that was very interesting. It was The Rock, Triple H, and Angle. And Triple H was on Logan Paul's podcast talking about this. And he goes, so Triple H was supposed to put Angle through the table, the announce table. And the table broke before they did the move.
Yep.
Now, the monitor, when Kurt's head hit the monitor and knocked him out completely.
Yep.
Knocked him clean out. Yep.
Completely knocked him out. So when Triple H finally got him, he had the ref escort him in the back. So then The Rock and him are just unscripted now. They're fighting. And he goes to the ref and he goes, you're going to tell me two things and two things only. Does Kurt know where he is, and is he coming back? So the ref's like, all right, I'll find out. So they're going. The ref goes, Kurt doesn't know where he is, but he's coming out. So he comes out and fucking Stephanie's having him underneath her arm, holding him up, and you just see the gloss. He's in absolute Disneyland. Doesn't know what's going on. There's this moment
he doesn't know where he is.
where he's supposed to duck so that way Triple H hits Stephanie. Triple H is looking into the soul of Kurt Angle, knowing that Kurt's not there. And he goes, he's not going to fucking move. So he had to grab his shoulder and move him out of the way to do the move just so that way he doesn't actually take the shot. So then they get in the back, Triple H was saying, and Triple H started, Kurt started getting consciousness, and he goes, man, what a moment, man. What a wild match do we have? And Triple H is like, you don't even know the fucking half of it, dude. You don't even know half of it. We don't even know what happened, dude.
You really don't.
Literally. Like, you are gone the whole entire thing. And he's like, yeah, no, Kurt didn't know for didn't know what happened, because he was like, yeah, I just blacked out and everything. And they had to tell him the story.
Is that in this doc?
No, it's
No.
if you watch a segment of Logan Paul's Impulsive, Triple H was on it, and Triple H was talking about that match, and that's what he said.
I remember now that you say that. Yeah, I definitely caught wind of that clip, but
which is
it would
so
be fun.
funny.
It would have been funny though if it was in that, and you just heard from Kurt's point of view. I mean, Kurt probably doesn't remember most of it anyway, considering that.
Yeah, we were going on the announce table, and
dude,
all of a sudden everything went black.
I don't even remember this happened.
Darkness.
Okay, but yeah, no, that's awesome. But yeah, that was Collision tonight, people. A lot longer of a review than I thought it was going to be. But hey, we did talk about 20 minutes beforehand. I did talk about 20 minutes beforehand until I got these two guys in here. So honestly, it really could have been shaved off a lot. But I really do appreciate both of you guys coming on in here and doing the thing with me, because it's an awesome time talking pro wrestling. And especially when you get a great show like this and a very easy show to talk about like this, it makes this job so much more easier. And now if there's not any more wrestling news tomorrow, I can have a nice easy day off, have some good fun watching football, because football is back,
Go
and
Seahawks.
and it's gonna be absolutely fantastic. And then we'll see what happens on Monday, because if it's a good show, or if it's at least a moderate show on Monday, you'll see me here right back on the pod talking about Monday Night Raw. If not, I'll see you guys Wednesday. Because I would usually
a very good ending.
But yeah, this is a great time talking to you guys. I'll let you guys plug in whatever you guys want to plug in, and then we can get the hell out of here.
Deontay, you can go first, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I know where to find me. NBA TikTok, Wrestling MHJF on TikTok. Follow the YouTube. I have a very special thing that I'm working on. I'm trying to get off the ground. So follow me on YouTube. I'm sponsored by W Energy. Use my code NBAT and you get 10% off your order at W. I'm also the Really Shop affiliate, so go to my TikTok profile and get the link, and you can just use help your boy out. Also get your hornball merch on the MVP merch site. And that's about it.
I am Dylan. I am the man, the myth, the legend, D Macho Nacho over at the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. You guys see my face a lot. I guarantee it, either between clips of the shows that we watch or just the pod or the gaming content or whatever else we do over there. You have seen me before. I guarantee it. But no, we do watch-alongs for all of WWE, AEW TV shows, as well as their pay-per-views, on top of podcast episodes every single Thursday. And now we're doing gaming content as well over there. Tomorrow today, now that it's 1:30 in the morning, it is Starfield. We're going to be playing some more Starfield over on Xbox. Very excited. It's been a game I've been waiting for a long time. So now it's finally here. I've been playing a little bit of it. I already uploaded 2 videos for that. I, too, am also a part of the WWE affiliate link as well, which is really exciting and cool, and are getting a TikTok shop as of now and an Amazon marketplace shop thing. I don't know. I still got to read that email from Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. But nonetheless, that is all me. Go ahead, find me on all social media platforms. Last Week in Wrestling Podcast, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, MySpace, Facebook,
MySpace,
original Twitter. Everywhere your social media is, you can find us, and we're there for you. But I want to just say, Phil, thank you for having me. This was an absolute honor. Like I said to you before, like I said, you as well as Axel were the first 2 guys that I started following before I started making content in the wrestling community. So it is very nice to meet one of the people you admire and looked up to. So I just have to commend you for all of your work. Yeah, absolutely, man. You deserve it. And yeah, man, it's very funny to be on your thing now, and it's very interesting. Now we know each other on a real level, so it's really cool to say that and everything. Now you got to introduce me to your celebrity friends, all right? Stop holding us back, Phil, all right?
Hey,
all this bullshit, all right? All these people over there, but you probably even know Chris Vanderbilt, all right? So why don't you hook your boy up over here in Long Island and help him out, all right? Like, Jesus, Phil, my God. You're a great guy, Phil.
It's funny. I'm pretty sure you've seen my World Heavyweight Championship from the background of my videos or anything like that. I actually won that from Chris.
That's
CBB.
funny.
So
that's hilarious.
It was legit. He legitimately, and this is no bullshit, not even bullshitting you. He posted a partnership that he did with FanDuel belts, right?
Okay.
And all you had to do was post a post on your story and tag 3 friends in the comments. That's it. And you could win the World Heavyweight Championship replica that was in that post. I did it out of the fucking, pure luck that it was possibly going to happen. And it fucking happened, because I saw it like that next day. He posted my post from my story on his story, and he like did a little video after that, and I was like, holy shit, I actually won the thing. And
Wow.
not even lying to you again, because the day I was supposed to graduate college but couldn't because of COVID, the mail truck comes in, puts this big box in my hand saying somebody needs to sign this for you, and I open up the big box. It's the world title. It's the
It's
world
kind of,
heavyweight title. I got the world
it's
That's
heavyweight title
crazy.
on the day I was supposed to graduate,
look,
and
There's your diploma. That's your
there you
diploma.
go.
Take it as
There
a
you go.
diploma, man. That's your diploma.
There
You didn't
you
even
go.
go
I
nowhere.
mean, I ultimately did get to graduate like a year later or whatever. I
Good,
finally got
good.
it, due to the whole thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, no, it was supposed to be on the day I was graduating. I got the belt. He basically contacted me after that, and he's like, Phil, you should have gotten it. Did you get it? I'm like, yes, I did. Chris, thank you so much, because this made my day a whole lot better, because I was supposed to graduate, and I told him the whole story in detail and everything. And he's like, bro, well, congratulations. And
the
I
timing.
could not be more proud of
Great
him.
timing.
Yeah, could not be more proud of that. And now he actually does follow me on Twitter, funny enough. So I mean, it's just insane.
So stop hiding us
I'm
from the
like,
world,
dude,
damn it.
I
All
love
right.
Chris. He's a great dude. He's
awesome.
a great
No,
dude.
that's a
And
great
honestly,
story.
look, man, I now that Deontay and I definitely do know you on like a personal level, we can honestly really
Yeah.
do get you in that group chat that we have over there, and we can
I
honestly all
appreciate
just
that.
chat
That'd be
it up,
great.
because you're a great dude.
Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, we can honestly just make that happen. I'm pretty sure we can make that happen, right, D?
Yeah, well, I'm
No,
pretty,
I know.
you know,
Deontay actually comes into all of the watch-alongs and stuff. And we really
Yeah.
had a great episode, because it's funny. I told Deontay this too when we did the podcast before we did it, and I told him, I was like, I've been, because and I told this to him, and I would tell this to you just if you were going to do an episode of my thing. So I have no problem telling everybody. When I meet the people that come on the pod, it's not random people. I don't just pick up my phone like, oh, you look good, bring them on. It's like I make sure I learn about you. I want to know who
Right.
you are, what you do, what kind of content you do, and stuff like that. And Deontay's videos kept getting recommended to me because of the community algorithm with TikTok. And of course, you're in there, and Axel's in there, and Marissa and Erica and all of you guys are already in there. But I see you guys every day. So it's like, all right, I don't know these people just yet. So maybe one day we can get to them. But for now, we'll see who else we could get. And then Deontay was a part of that. And I was like, all right. And I hit him up. I said, hey, would you like to be on an episode? And he goes, hell yeah. And we talked for a little bit. We chopped it up, and then we did the pod. And like Deontay was saying to you before, it was a great episode. I love it. It's definitely one of my fun ones. I like doing that. My big thing is the reason why I got into this community, to this part of the atmosphere, I guess you could call it, of the wrestling world, is that I don't want to be Chris Vanderbilt. I like his money, but I don't want to be Chris. I don't want to be Sean Sapp or any of those guys, because they know who they are. They know what lane they want. They know what they want to do out of this. I'm more of a I like the rotating door. I like bringing new people on. I like having people come back. I like giving people a new platform to just hang out and talk wrestling. And if you watch the watch-alongs and the pay-per-views and all the stuff that we do over there on Last Week in Wrestling Pod, you'll see that it's not just wrestling. It's video game talk. We're talking about food. Like today, we're talking about egg recipes from Gordon Ramsay during the Collision watch-along. Like there's just, It's just a fun atmosphere. Yeah. We do predictions during matches. We do drinking games. We do trivia. We celebrate people's birthdays. We're just, and it's only me. I am the person that does everything on the channel, from the video content to the logos to everything. And, it's just fun to have new people on. It's fun to bring new fresh faces on. It's fun to have people come back. That's my biggest reward to me, honestly. If you can come back on because you want to have fun again, is to me, that's like, I won. I did my job. And that's what kind of content creator I am. And I like being in that little lane of my own and hanging out and seeing everybody and, waving at the, on the highway to everybody and whatnot. But like I said, man, you were one of the ones that I started watching in the beginning before deciding to jump into this crazy thing a year or two, or not even really 3 years ago now. And you and Axel and stuff. And so, now I'm here and now I'm talking to you. It's fucking crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. For me, it's really fucking crazy. So it's an honor, honestly.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me on and, being you now are TikTok friends, which is awesome. And now we're friends in real life, which is even better. So I'm happy
awesome.
to finally met you. And man, no, you do great things and keep up the great work, man. You're a great content creator, great guy. And Deontay, he's a troublemaker. You just got to watch out for Deontay. He's a troublemaker, but he's all right. He's all right in my book.
Hey,
So,
I keep him on his toes every once in a while because you honestly
Yes,
kind of
you
have
do.
to with
Yes,
this crazy
you do.
guy. But all right, thank you guys so much for joining us right here on OTB. We will talk to you guys, if not tomorrow, if I don't get any extra out there for you guys. We will see you guys on Monday for the Monday Night Raw post show. And until then, guys, for basically everybody here, I'm Phil, and we will talk to you guys on Monday for the Monday Night Raw post show on OTV. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, look.
Guns up.
Bye bye.